Good morning. Welcome to Sound Summit Spring 2021. I'm your host, Kim Kyland. I'm a production sound mixer and producer based in Los Angeles. I'm really happy to be back here, guys. Thanks for having me back. We have John, Carl joining us.
Hello.
Joe, you guys want to say hello?
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
And happy Earth Day. I was just informed that it's Earth Day. I didn't mean to wear so much green, but now I'm happy I did.
Looks great. And you got the plant back there.
Yeah, exactly. My plant his name is Bones. What else? John made a good point earlier before we started. We're being Earth Day friendly because we haven't traveled for this conference. Unfortunately, we're not together, but I guess today of all days, it's nice that we have Zoom.
Indeed.
It is. And I was thinking too, and John and I were talking about when to do this event, and this is NAB season. And it feels very strange that this is the second year in a row that we're not all gathering in Las Vegas for the NAB show. I went, my first NAB exhibiting was 1998, and I've been at every one since until last year. And I think, there's sort of a cyclical need to get together and to see the gear and to see our friends in the industry and colleagues and things like that. So this seemed like the perfect time to do it. We did the first virtual one last year. And this event dates back to 2014, and when we did the first live one in Los Angeles. It was DPA and Sound Devices and Electrosonics kind of hatched this idea. And here we are. Now it's virtual. This is the third virtual event. So it's great to see everybody, and I'm seeing chat happening. And if you've got questions, that's the place to do it, and we'll do our best to answer them.
Absolutely. I'm trying to monitor the chat as well here.
Yeah, we've got a great roster of participants here. We're gonna start it off with DPA, and let's get our guest from DPA along with us here.
Good morning, DPA.
So we've got Bo and Matt who are going to be joining us.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Or good afternoon. There we go. I should be on now as well.
Yes, you are.
Good. Good morning and good afternoon.
Good morning, you guys. And are you joining us all from Denmark?
No, I'm the
we're
only one from
scattered
Denmark.
across the world.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
And that was a great start with us all talking over each other as well. Yeah, no.
Hey, that's what Zoom is. It's what we do here.
Yeah, no, I'm in our UK office in London. We've got Bo over there in Denmark, and we also have a guest with us, John Gilbert. Where are you, in Dorset?
Dorset, I'm in Yorkshire.
Yorkshire, sorry, that's
Yorkshire,
the
the
one.
capital
How
of the
dare
world.
you?
Once you leave London, it's all the same to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I love how international you guys are. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So should we just dive on in?
Yeah, let's kick it off with
Absolutely.
your first video. So here we go.
Cool. Yeah, we have a couple of videos we're going to show, and then one of them features Mr. Gilbert, and then we will take questions or anything that might arise from that. The first one, though, is production sound mixer Tom Williams talking about our 4018 and 4017 capsules. Nice. And I guess we can go ahead and roll that one.
There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing. I sometimes put rocks inside the blimp if my boom up's being a nightmare. Just make it a bit heavier. You don't want to make it too easy. Hi, I'm Tom Williams. I've been in the industry now for 22 years, thereabouts. And I've worked as a boom operator for many years as a documentary recordist, and I now work as a production sound mixer for film and TV. And I want to tell you a few things about boom mics. So the absolutely fantastic thing about the DPA range of microphones is that, so here I've got a 4018 and a 4017, C preamp, B preamp. Because they're modular, I can literally swap these around, or I can put these on a different cable. There's so much flexibility with the design. I tend to use the B preamp for. I tend to keep them in my blimps the whole time, pretty much. Just having that flexibility of being able to knock the bass out if it's very high wind, or maybe you don't want to put a high wind cover on your blimp. You want to kind of keep it a bit more bare, and it's just a very quick way of just knocking a bit of rumble out. The C preamp I tend to use more on my interior mics on my 4018s, but then I also have a 4017 that lives on a C preamp the whole time, just because it's a much more compact design and being able to, to get it into smaller spaces. This is the absolute daddy of capsules. It sounds beautiful, and it's in an enclosed space inside a car or in a small room or wherever it might be. This is absolutely mint. Sometimes I need to get that right up to the ceiling, or I need to kind of put it in behind a sun visor in a car, something like that. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of the C preamp, and I'll use one of these guys, which is called an MMP GS, and it's essentially like a sideways cable that allows me to screw the capsule on. So I've got this thing here, which is, with this side address cable on, that's just over 1 inch long, absolutely dinky. And whereas before you might have to have, an XLR cable, then a power supply for Phantom, and then you're having to plug into a transmitter, and you've got this kind of big bundle of cables. This can just simply run out on a thin cable, and then on the other end you've got the microdot adapter. So I can put an adapter on there which suits my transmitter, plug straight into my transmitter. So it's the most simple stripped back plant mic you can get, really. It's a high risk job. You're swinging microphones around above actors, and in situations where you're having to your spatial awareness and three-dimensional sort of understanding of a set is hugely important. When I was booming, it would be a much heavier microphone than now. I mean, these DPAs don't weigh anything at all. It's like a feather, which is great. Every single gram that you save means that their attention and their focus is going to be that much sharper and that much kind of more honed at that particular moment. Maybe 30 seconds into the 10th take, and the director's going, "Oh yeah, I just want to shoot one more take. Can we just keep rolling?" And the boom op's there, and they're just kind of like. Ugh. So having a slightly wider pickup pattern on a capsule, when you're in quite close in an interior, which is a good sounding room, what it allows you to do is it allows you to drift the microphone on the boom rather than swing the microphone. Whereas a lot of the time, if you have a very directional mic, like an interference tube design, then you kind of have to be much more bang on with your mic cues, and so your boom op really needs to they're having to preempt the beginning of the first syllable, especially actually if you're dealing with like ad-lib dialogue and stuff like that, where you're having to be very reactive as a boom op. You're not necessarily sticking to a script. You're kind of watching the person that's not speaking, waiting to kind of see them start to speak to know to get to them. And then when you have a microphone with a wider pickup pattern like a 4018, which also has the suck to be able to be slightly further back, it means that for an interior mic, you can kind of take this and guarantee you stick it on the pole and it's going to sound great. Combining lavs and booms together is where you find that sweet spot. My job is about providing options to post and being able to hand over the best radio mic sound as well as the best boom sound, right? So basically I take those options and I'm handing them over to the post-production workflow so that they can sit there in an incredible sounding room and kind of go to town on making them sound even better. I've found in the past that you might be using a certain type of lav and a certain type of boom, and there's no coherence. They don't cut together very well. What's so great about DPA is you can have a 4061 in a prime position on an actor, and it sounds great on its own. It sounds close and dry and full, and then you can have a 4018 or a 4017 on the boom, and on its own sounds beautiful. You've got this big full-bodied sound, and then being able to be in a very fortunate position to find a sweet spot where you can mix those two things together. They're kind of greater than the sum of their parts.
Yeah. There she is. Are you gonna... I'm John Gilbert, I'm a documentary sound recordist, and today, Buddy and I are going to show you some tips and tricks about how to hide DPA mics and get it right first time. This is one of the most basic mounts going, and it's reliable, really easy to get right. and it works on shirts, polo shirts like this, normal shirts like mine, smart shirts. It's the shirt mount. And you can see we've brought the mic up and out through there. And I like to use one of these bubble bee mounts. The rubberized finish on them seems to give a bit of a shock mount. Seems to make them a bit more durable. And I use a Sticky-O, Rycoat Advanced Sticky-O, and a Rycoat overcover. And that's your wind cover. And then we use a normal sticky. Which is what we'll mount the shirt with, and stick that on the flat side of the bubble bee. Pull your slack cable out. And it just goes in like that. And you can see there's some fibres there sticking out. Never be afraid to customise things and make them work the way you want them to work. There we go. Shirt mount. This is the tie mount, and it's really useful when you're dealing with people wearing suits and starched shirts, and there's no space, there's no dead air to get the mic in the shirt where you'd normally put it in somewhere down there. So you stick it in the tie, get it physically away from the noise. And it's really easy to hide the cable here. Through the knot. And then I usually use an Ursa mount for these because they're really shiny and slippery and you don't get any handling noise of the tie knot on the mount. And that's probably why I'd also not use any wind protection on this if I could get away with it, just to try and keep it as quiet as possible. You only need half an advanced square sticky. And it's got to be pointing down, that's really important. Because otherwise you get the weird sound. If a mic's too close to the throat, it just sounds wrong. They're not supposed to be there. So get it a bit of distance away from the body with it being in the knot, pointing down, perfect. And then you need to do a bit of tidying up, smarten him up. This is where you get paid for being a wardrobe assistant as well as sound recordist. And there you go, tie knot, it works, it's brilliant. This is a really simple technique, but it's quite important to know why you're doing what you're doing. With jumpers like this, it's really easy to get a bulge and you can spot it a mile off. So if you put the mic in the right place, that won't happen. So we use an overcover and a Sticky-O for your wind protection. And then just a normal sticky. And then if you use the neckline, you see there's a thicker fabric there. We use that to hide the lump of the mic, so it's just stuck there, pointing up towards the mouth, but it's more or less invisible. This is the woolly hat mount, and it's a really good one in winter when you're dealing with talent or contributors who are wearing a lot of outdoor clothing and it's rustly and you can't get a good clean sound. Get the mic away from the noise into the hat. So it's really simple. Just a little piece of sticky there, or tape. If you haven't got stickies, you can use tape. So this at the business end, this is where you do need your Rycoat stuff. You use a sticky to hold the mic down, but there's plenty of wind protection coming from the hat, so it's odds on that that's going to be enough. And you put a undercover there to stop that sticking to your contributor's head. And on. And the mic's right at the front, it stays there. Any head turns, you're going to be on mic all the time and it's going to sound great. And of course you can do the same with a baseball cap or any hat. This is an interesting mount. This is using the DPA 6060, which is a 3mm sub-miniature capsule, and you can see it's absolutely tiny. And you can hide it in plain sight. If you're lucky enough to be somewhere where you don't need any wind protection, maybe you're doing a studio shoot, there's these new paintable caps. They're white paintable caps. So you see we'll have it just poking out the buttonhole there. Half a sticky just to keep it in place, just to keep the cable in place. like so. And this is the really neat trick. If you've got the right colour Sharpie, and you will have, you can just colour it in. And that's hiding in plain sight. No one's ever going to spot that on the screen.
Now,
Welcome back to Sound Summit. Thank you for those wonderful videos, DPA. We have some of you joining us live now. Hello to John G, Matt, and Bo.
Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, we actually, I forgot we shot that video with John in COVID last year, hence why he is outside with his dog frolicking around the garden. But yeah, thank you very much, John, for shooting that for us.
Pleasure.
John is a pro in the industry working in the UK on mainly documentary films, and yeah, he helped us out with a load of really useful lav placement and hiding techniques. And if we have questions at all about anything that we saw in the video, that'd be great to get those.
We do.
Or about the previous video from Tom, which Bo will endeavour to answer, as we don't have Tom with us today.
Yeah, lovely. I can read you guys the first question we have here. So how big a difference does the 3mm capsule make for hiding mics compared to the size of a 4061?
Well, I will let the professional who's actually done it.
Professional, that must be me.
That's a question for
Well,
John, right?
You saw in the video on the buttonhole mount. It's just you can hide it in plain sight. It's there, but you're never going to see it unless you're on a really tight shot. And yeah, it's tiny. It's almost invisible from conversation distance. So that's the real difference. And it means you can hide it. There are going to be no bulges. I often use that spot there to mic on a shirt or a t-shirt, and it just means you can't see it stick it to the skin. There's less mic to form a bulge. So that's the basic.
Yeah,
Wonderful,
I've heard
thank
plenty
you.
of people say that you can sew them into costumes in ways that you can't with others for more kind of drama usage.
Absolutely. All right, we have another question here. How do the DPAs stand up to wear and tear?
That's an interesting question, because there seems to be a myth that DPA lav mics are delicate, and they're really not. I've been using them exclusively for about 6 years now, and I used to have some other mics which I used every day, and then keep a couple of 4061s for special, for voices that people knew, that I wanted to really show their best. And then I thought, why don't I just use the 4061s for absolutely everything? And I'm still using the ones that are 6 or 7 years old. They still come out of the box every day at work. And I haven't broken one yet, so they stand up just fine. And that is in documentary type environments where you've got no control, you've got people micing and demicing themselves, and they're treated pretty roughly. And yeah, they're good. Yeah. They're durable.
Absolutely. I can agree to that, John. I use DPAs as well in a lot of documentary environments. And like you said, you have people pulling them on and off, not used to handling mics. So they're great for that.
Yeah.
All right.
There is a
we have
heavy
another-
duty version which I've never actually felt the need to use, because the regular ones for me have just been durable enough.
Wonderful. We have another question. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Okay. All right. So from Jonathan Mitchell, he asks, what about necklines of t-shirts for mounts?
That's a good one for the 3mm capsules, because you can, as I was saying earlier about there not being any bulge, you can really just get it in there. Tiny bit of toupee tape or sticky stuff, or a DPA round sticky pad, and yeah, it's just really easy to get them in the right spot.
Wonderful. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Matt?
Oh, well, no, I was just going to see if Bo wanted to talk a bit about the evolution of the 4061 and how improvements have been brought in to make the cable more supple and more durable as well, because I know you've had a part to play in that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to
sure.
hear that.
I'd love to tell about it. There's been this perception, as John was saying, that the mics are very delicate, but of course they do break sometimes if they're mishandled, and if you pull the cable out of the capsule, they will break. So we have improved the cable relief just after the capsule. We've done a lot of research on that, on looking and how the professionals are using the mics and how they are sometimes abusing the mics, both at the microdot end and but also at the capsule end. So we have improved the cable relief at both ends, both in terms of how we assemble it, how we glue it, and how we service it, and also with the recent introduction of the core preamp, the better preamp with less distortion. We also introduced new manufacturing processes, so they are even more doable now. And funny enough, you say you have microphones that you've used for 7 years, so some of them are even older than the core versions. But I think that you are a very good example of how you can keep equipment if you clean them regularly. You clean the cables, you treat the cables right with the softener or oil or whatever you're using. They will stay soft. They will stay easy to work with for a long time. We see some users, some professional users, cleaning everything with alcohol and thinking that that's good for rubber. It has never been good for either silicone or rubber. So if you know how to treat the equipment, and that goes for everything, including microphones, then they will last forever.
Yep, I agree with you, Bo. Thank you so much for elaborating on that. I think we have more folks who are eager to ask you guys questions. We have Keith Branch. He wants to know, how much do you want for the shirt, John?
Which one, this one or the one in the video? They're both for sale.
Unclear. We'll get back to you on that one.
Everything
okay?
has a price.
Yeah. We also have Hans von Bemmelen. I hope I pronounced your name well. Question for DPA. What's the difference between the 4097 vocal mic and the 4099 instrument mic? Two really great mics that I love.
Oh, do you want to take that?
Give me those numbers again. 4097 vocal?
Absolutely. So the difference between the 4097 vocal mic and the 4099 instrument mic.
I think possibly he's looking at the choir mic version that we marketed.
The plant mic.
The 4097, which is ostensibly for recording groups of singers. But the 4097 capsule that Bo is holding there is much more for small crevices and cracks.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't normally get a shotgun mic. It's a little mini one. Go on, Bo.
Yeah, we call this version here, we call that a plant mic, because we figured that you would love to use it when you need to plant a mic real quick. Go straight on the transmitter and or a cable or whatever you want. The differences between this one and the instrument mic, the 4099, is the boom, the gooseneck length here, and the sensitivity of the microphone. The capsule, the interference tube, the cable, the windscreen, the shock mount, everything is the same. The plant mic 4097 is 16 millivolt sensitivity, and the instrument mics are either 2 or 6 millivolts. So obviously you would need a 16 millivolt when you use it for voice, and I think that was the question.
Great. That's a wonderful explanation. Thank you. We have one more question for you guys at DPA. Hello, Petrushka. This question is from Petrushka Mierzwa. She's asking, how exactly are they reinforced? Thicker right after the capsule?
Yeah, they have a little bit. When I first joined Sound Network, the cable came right out of the plastic housing that forms the base of the capsule, and a few years later, and I must say, at that point, I was running service in the UK, and I did see a lot of mics breaking at the head, and that was pretty much terminal. But then they introduced, I mean, this was, I don't know, it must have been 2011, maybe earlier, just a little strain relief at the back, which just stops it bending completely and the cable going at right angles to the capsule, and it just made all of the difference, and I stopped seeing them coming in for that particular reason. And obviously mics do get broken in the field, it's always going to happen, but the number drastically reduced. In fact, we had a box which was just mics broken at the head from one particular movie series involving magic. But I won't mention any of the actors by name. But I did have an irate sound recordist telling me that one particular person kept just ripping them off after he would finish a scene, and then yeah. But that problem thankfully has been fixed by the little collar at the end of the capsule. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that's no one likes that magic trick. That's horrible. I'm so glad you guys did that little bit of reinforcement.
If you want to see it, I have it right here. It's this part here.
Right there.
Right after the capsule. This part is what Matt was talking about, and
Awesome.
that's a great improvement. I'm not sure if it's I can't zoom on this
No, we
one
can
here,
see that
but
well. Thank you so
can
much
see-
for
okay.
throwing that in there. There it is.
yeah.
All right. I think we have one more video from DPA. Why don't we go ahead and roll that?
We're in.
Hello and welcome back. Thanks, DPA, for all that. We have Carl from Lectrosonics joining us now. Hello, Carl.
Hello, how are you? Hello to everybody out there worldwide. It's great to see so many people joining on the chat and tuning in to watch. And it was great to see a little Lectrosonics transmitter at the end of the DPA video. Nice segue there. And we know,
Right.
of course, our transmitters are used quite often with the DPA mics, and they sound great. So, all right, so the video we've got
Wonderful.
coming up is talking about the details of the HDM, the high density mode that was recently developed and introduced in the new DBSM series. So let's roll the video. Hi, Carl Winkler here at Lectrosonics. In this video, I'll explain the details of our high density transmission mode so that you'll know when to use this powerful tool and what to expect. HDM is one of the compatibility modes now available in some of our transmitters and all of our digital receivers. HDM is a combination of low RF power and smaller occupied bandwidth for those situations when you need to get more channels into less spectrum. The design goal was to allow more than 24 channels into 6 MHz or less of clean spectrum with excellent sound quality and reasonable range, and we've achieved that. Because of the lower RF power, this mode is likely to be most useful in a controlled environment like a studio or stage, where you can optimize antenna placement and ensure correct RF gain structure. Standard ETSI-compliant RF carriers take up about 200 kHz of occupied bandwidth. HDM, on the other hand, takes up half of that, or 100 kHz, and allows for much tighter channel spacing. And when selecting this mode on the transmitter, the RF power is set at 2 milliwatts, resulting in extremely low intermod products, even when multiple units are physically close together. The transmitter-to-transmitter IM products are below the noise floor, and thus do not have to be considered when coordinating frequencies. Because of this, carriers can not only be closely spaced, but also evenly spaced. For our tests with actual systems, we started with 24 DBSM transmitters, then did a second test with 40 transmitters, all placed 18 inches apart, all together in one room. We spaced the carriers evenly at 200 kHz apart and still had normal operation. In some situations, even closer spacing might be possible, but operating range is reduced, depending on external conditions. So that your receivers operate correctly with this mode and include the correct filtering, please be sure to update the firmware in your DSQD, DCHR, and DCR822 to the latest versions, which include HDM mode as a compatibility selection. We recommend you check the firmware history pages on our website for the latest updates. Note that with half the occupied bandwidth, and thus a reduced data rate, the HDM mode has a slightly reduced upper frequency response. D2 mode provides flat response from below 20 Hz to 20 kHz, while HDM tops out at 16 kHz. The proprietary codec we developed for this mode yields excellent sound quality, though. You may be hard-pressed to hear a difference between the two modes in most situations. You may be concerned about operating range with such low RF power. We optimize this mode for channel density while maintaining excellent sound quality. That said, you might be surprised at the range you can get with this system on a clean frequency. Here's a little walk test we did using the DBSM in HDM mode and a DCR-822 with whip antennas. All right, so we're outside. We're going to do the classic walk test. I'm going to walk out that way. Don't know if I'm going to see any roadrunners today, but we'll find out. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, got some different sagebrush out here. A little breezy, hopefully not too bad. Walking in between the sages here. Gonna get out to the end of the property over here, see how we're doing. Beautiful day out here today, mid-March. Nice and sunny, a little breezy, not too bad. Not fully in the windy season yet. Okay. And I'd say this is about 100 yards away. So 100 yards, and I'm going to turn around and start heading back your way. Yeah, no roadrunners this time. That was a fun one, the one with the setting your transmitter gain properly. By the way, with digital transmitters, gain settings don't change range at all. But it's still a good idea to have good gain structure for good audio. Okay. We'll have to see how we did. But don't take it from me. Here's Aaron Cujo Cooley talking about the DBSM and high density mode on set.
Hey everybody, it's Cujo here in Atlanta Sound Guy. I am here in my sound truck today. We're on location shooting for Step Up Season 3. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been using this little guy here. This is the new digital SM size wideband transmitter that Electro came out with. And it's got this new cool feature. I mean, it's got all the great things about the digital transmission that we're all in love with. But this one does a high density mode, which operates at 2 milliwatts, so that you can stack a whole bunch of transmitters in a really small space. We've been using a pair of these now for about 3 weeks, about 3 weeks now. And we have had 0 failures. Absolutely no failures whatsoever. It works great, and we've been in some absolutely horrific RF environments, to include 360-degree LED walls with LED ceilings, a giant stage that replicates the Grammy Awards. It's just been an absolute RF nightmare, and this little Electro unit right here is making it happen. So wait for the details to come out. Carl, Gordon, and all you fanatics, thank you for making a great product. Cheers.
In many cases, Omni antennas will outperform directionals when using this mode due to the increased pickup from reflected RF signals. Some additional things to consider. Be sure to let Wireless Designer do your frequency coordination when possible. Don't forget to update it to the latest version, at least 2.0.31 for Windows and 2.0.26 for Mac OS, so it knows what to do with channels in HDM. And, of course, please use best practices for antenna placement, RF gain structure, and filtering for best results. These things are more critical when using low RF power. Because the human body absorbs RF energy, be sure to use some of the common tips and tricks for keeping transmitter antennas away from skin and not covered by limbs or metallic fabrics. I covered this important topic in my video about the 7 most common problems with wireless mic systems and how to solve them. As you can see, high density mode is a powerful tool when you've got the antenna system, the RF gain structure, and the environment to make the most of this low power mode. We were able to get more than 24 channels to fit into 6 megahertz. Let's see what you can do with it. For more information on the latest Lectrosonics digital wireless systems, please visit lectrosonics.com. And don't forget to check out the other technical videos we have on our YouTube channel. I'm Carl Winkler. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to Sound Summit, everyone. Hello, Carl from Lectrosonics.
Hello, and thanks for letting us show that video about HDM. It's a real exciting new tool in the arsenal for digital transmission. You know, getting a very narrow carrier and a very low level of power, so they can be stacked together very closely, as you saw in the video. I'm wondering if there's any questions. I see one question from Don.
We definitely
Hale.
have a question already. Hi, Don. Good morning. Don is asking, are the new HDM receivers and transmitters reverse compatible with digital hybrid mode?
Right. So let's talk receivers first. The DCR 822 is backwards compatible with digital hybrid, as is the DSQD 4-channel half-rack unit. The DCHR is not. It doesn't have a hybrid mode. It's digital only. So any one of these 3 receivers can do the standard D2 digital mode and the new HDM mode. Now, transmitters, though, are digital only, and so they're not going to be backwards compatible with digital hybrid receivers.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that, Carl.
Sure thing.
We have one more question from Igor Marlow. He's asking, will there be a 900 megahertz band version?
That is in the plan, yes.
Wonderful.
Sure thing.
All right. It looks like for now we don't have any more questions. Do we want to roll into the second video, or would you like to speak a little bit, Carl?
No, let's roll the second video. Basically, this is a conversation that I was able to get a little bit of time from a very busy sound mixer, Steve Morantz. He's worked on a bunch of great series. Some of my favorite shows from a few years ago, like Parks and Recreation, was just a blast. And Dead to Me, which I've watched the first 2 seasons and just love it. It's a great show. And a lot of other fantastic shows. So I was able to get a little bit of time with him and do this interview and asking him more general questions about, you know, what it takes to be a sound mixer, kind of some of his philosophies, as well as, you know, the kind of equipment he's using these days and what he's working on and so on. So here's Steve Morantz. So with me today is Steve Morantz, and thanks for joining us with this interview for the Sound Summit.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So, and where are you right now?
I'm on the Warner Brothers backlot, filming a show called Sex Lives of College Girls for HBO Max. It's a Minnie Kaling executive produced show, new show, half-hour comedy.
Okay. Yeah. How's it going so far?
So far, so good. We're just into week 3 here. So, but it's nice being on the Warner Brothers lot. And generally on the Warner Brothers lot, you don't get to bring your own equipment. And I'm fortunate that I'm able to bring my equipment on this particular project.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I know you can't talk too much about this particular show, but I know you've worked on some shows, one of which I've watched, which is Dead to Me. That's something you've worked on recently. Tell us a little bit about that one.
It's a half-hour dramedy. I like to say heavy on the drama, light on the comedy. But with Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini, I go way back with Christina. I've done several projects with her over the years, and executive producer Jessica Elbaum, who's Will Ferrell's producing partner. I've done many shows with her as well. So them doing this project together was a no-brainer, and I cleared my schedule to do it.
And Mayans MC, that's another show you've worked on quite a bit. Tell us about that.
Yes, that just wrapped up a week ago. I left that just a week and a half early to start this project, but 5.5 months. And that show generally shoots in the spring and early summer, and we shot in the fall and winter. And with all the outdoor locations, instead of being very hot and sweaty, it was very cold and miserable. But very tough show, very great show. It's always a challenge, and I felt that we met it every day.
Absolutely. Great. You had mentioned to me at one point that like there's a big difference between drama and comedy. And what are some of those things in terms of like, the work that you do?
Well, drama is different in the fact that, it's pretty much the script is the script. I can get the script 3 weeks from now and take a look at it 3 weeks later, and it's not going to change much. Comedy, no two takes are the same. There's just either performance-wise or notes or improv. I've worked on a lot of shows where there's a lot of improv and things like that. And with that, you got to get it right every time.
Very cool.
So, but we just my attitude is always be prepared for the worst, and generally it works out a lot better than you think it's going to.
And you mentioned you had a lot of channels on that show.
Yes, on my ends, I've run up to 15 or 16, up to 3 booms. The general rule of thumb in this day and age is, pretty much everybody gets a radio mic. We boom what we can, and I'm pretty successful in getting the booms over as much as we can. I do radio mic everybody that speaks or has the potential to speak. I do monitor ISOs at all times, even if I'm not using them, because sadly in this day and age, we are sound recordists.
Right.
Our mix is used basically for dailies and other things. Few occasions my mix has been used for a show, but with all the talking with post-production and re-recording mixers, which I try to go to as many playbacks and talk to post-production as much as possible on all my projects. Most shows are rebuilt. And again, ISOs are extremely important. That's why, again, if I'm using the boom or if I'm using the radios, I give them as much knowledge and information as I can. But at the end of the day, it's out of my hands on what they decide to use. If I use the booms and I think they're perfect, they may decide to use the radios.
Yeah.
If I use the radios, they may decide to use the booms. So again, just as much information as I can give them, for them to do the job the best way they can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so tell me about the key elements of your current rig. And you mentioned before not doing a lot of bag stuff lately, but do you maintain a bag?
Yes, I just updated to the Sound Devices 888. I was on a 688 for quite a bit of time, and the 888 has the D squared and the 822 in it currently, and it's also a mini cart. So I just take the bag, put it on a Euro cart. I have a CL12 on it, and good to go.
Cool. And then you have a big cart though that you do for like what you talked about, the channel counts for like Mayans MC.
Yes, I have a custom built 80/20 cart, and basically my cart consists of Sound Devices picks 260 and 970 as my main recorders. A Midas M32R is my mixing console. I have 2 D squareds and 1 Venue 2 on the cart, as well as a duet system for my IFBs and contacts for everybody else.
In terms of your wireless setup, what would you say has changed in the last year or so? I mean, I know there's a lot of challenges with spectrum availability and things like that. How has that changed what you're doing?
It's gotten a lot harder as far as frequency coordination. And in the past, I never remoted my antennas, and I'm remoting my antennas constantly. I'm using Wireless Designer on a daily basis on every location to help with frequency coordination, because it just depends on where you are in the city as far as what's available and what's not.
People that are watching this are likely to wonder, what are some things that you would want to tell them, like people that are learning the ropes of RF or want to improve their craft on that side, on the radio side? What would you say are the 3 most important concepts that they should master?
I mean, frequency coordination is huge. It really is, just because, as I said, of all the RF noise and everything going on here, just to make sure you get no bleed and everything else. Having tools that run at 250 or 150 more is not necessarily the best situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a controlled environment, 50 milliwatts could be fine. If you run it at 250, you might be putting more noise into the system. You're also extracting other noise from other areas. So again, more is not necessarily the best situation. RF antenna distribution and things like that is hugely important. The types of RF cable you have, antenna placements, power, everything basically part. And I want my boom operators happy, and I've been very fortunate to have a team with me that for several years. My utility, Mitch, has been with me for 16 years plus.
Wow.
And my boom operator, Dirk, has been off and on with me for over 10 years. So
what's a good point there about a team effort that this is? I mean, you can't do this kind of work without people that you can trust and that kind of probably read your mind and you read their minds. I mean, I would think.
My utility and I can complete each other's sentences a lot. And again, I'm a big believer in a good team makes me worse and a bad team. I mean, good team makes me better and a bad team makes me worse.
Right.
You know, I'm very, you know, when I need people, I try to find the best of the best to cover because again, they're going to make me look and the sound department look better at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Along those same lines, you know, what other advice would you have for people who are coming up in the business?
I mean, general stuff is research the equipment out there. If you know, try to talk to people. I'm always open to talking to new people. I help organize these when we can in the non-COVID world, all these get-togethers where, you know, new and old people can get together and meet each other and, you know, get to ask people questions. I'm a big believer in that. I believe that the sound community in general looks out for each other more than most of these other departments on a film set.
Interesting.
Looked up sound mixers and I wrote everyone a letter just saying, hey, I'm, you know, getting into sound. Is there any advice you can give me? And, you know, a couple of them took me to lunch and gave me some advice. And, you know, I'm always happy to pay it forward and do what I can to help. But I mean, you know, research the gear, make connections with certain people, just kind of, you know, get out and, you know, get involved in the community as much as you can. I mean, there's a lot of forums with sound and everything else. Be a part of all those. You know, I say with anybody with hard work and effort will get their opportunity. You know, you got to make the most of it when you get it, because if you don't, then it may be several years before you get the next big opportunity.
We got some time.
Right. I feel like this is a small community, you know, kind of what you're talking about. It's like you got to know people and you got to work within that. And it's like almost like a family, I feel. And, you know, it goes both ways. You know, we appreciate you and other mixers that are willing to work with us and talk with us and try new stuff, you know, which brings me to the next subject, which is the last couple of weeks you've been using the new DBSM transmitters. How's that going?
Great. I absolutely love them. I mean, I'm a big proponent of embracing the digital world. And when the D squared came out, I jumped on it right away. And DPR and DPR-As came out. I jumped on them right away and I've loved them. They've been great. I've had no issues with range. Sound quality is, in my opinion, far superior than analog. And I'm having the same results with the SM, what do we call it? SM what?
The DBSMs, yeah. They're so new, no one knows what they're called yet.
Yes.
And I mean, thanks for talking to us today. I'm sure the folks out there are going to get a lot out of, you know, your wisdom and how long you've been in the business and the kind of work that you do. And so let's wrap it up. And thanks again. And, you know, if anyone's got questions, just contact us through the Sound Summit channels here or me at Electrosonics, and I'll relay them if you want to do that. So thanks again, Steve.
Great. My pleasure.
Hello and welcome back to Sound Summit. We're here live with Carl from Electrosonics. Hello, Carl.
Hey, everybody. I know
We have
there's a couple
some
questions.
Yeah, we have questions right away for you. So I'll read you the first one from Jeff Cools. He's asking, how is battery life with the new Electrosonics TRX?
Yeah, the DBSM transmitters have excellent battery life. We redesigned the output RF stage, and it's extremely efficient. To give you some idea, the single battery unit at 25 milliwatts when a lithium battery runs for 6 hours, 35 minutes. The double battery unit at 50 milliwatts and a couple lithiums will run for 12 hours. And at the lower powers, they run longer, which was not always the case for some of our earlier transmitters. So for instance, at the HDM 2 milliwatt setting in the double battery unit with lithiums, it'll run for 18 hours. So battery life's really good.
Oh, very cool. Thank you, Carl. We have another question from Jonathan Mitchell. I'm interested in this as well. I do a lot of bag work. He's asking, for bag work, what antennas would you suggest?
Yeah, I'm fond of, well, of course the whips work well, but I'm fond of the coax antennas. And we've got on our YouTube channel instructions how to make them. We also sell them. They're block specific. But basically it's a short piece of cable that's stripped back to make a dipole antenna. And by getting those antennas out of the bag and maybe onto your harness straps and that kind of thing, it gets out and away from your HOP transmitters or your IFP transmitter, and you'll get better range that way. So those are great for bags, especially if you've got multiple receivers, then you would need a distro. But dipole antennas work well.
Awesome. Thank you, Carl. I think those are all the questions we had for you. Thanks for joining us from New Mexico.
Sure thing. Thanks so much for having me, and great to see everybody here. And I'll be in the chat answering further questions as they come up. So thank you, everybody.
Cool. Thank you, Carl. All right, we have another video. We're just going to roll straight into a K-Tech commercial.
The boom pole is an extension of myself, allowing me to place the microphone with total precision. The new K-Tech Mighty boom pole builds on a proven design with pioneering refinements that take the lightest professional boom poles into the next era. The larger carbon graphite sections increase rigidity, making it easy to move heavy mics at full extension while distributing weight evenly across your hands. Make the pole work for you with more accessories than anyone else. The new headpiece allows you to swap cables in under a minute.
Hey, Tina.
Redesigned collars take less than a quarter turn, making these the smoothest, fastest collars in the West.
What do you say? Boom!
K-Tech. Don't start shooting without it.
Let's talk about waterproof lav mics.
Cut! René, please say waterproof lavalier microphones, not just lav mics.
No way.
Once again, please.
Hello and thanks for having us at the Sound Summit 2021. Switzerland is not only famous for cold rivers, chocolate and great engineering. No, we also have very high mountains, and so it's obvious that our lavalier mics are also available in versions for the toughest outdoor applications. Especially for such applications, it's even more important to listen carefully to the challenges audio professionals are facing every day. Because they work daily in the snow, rain, cold, heat, and know best what professional audio products must offer. For that reason, our well-known industry standard lavalier microphones VT500 and VT506 have been available for many years in waterproof and special rugged versions. But also our VT400 series has with the VT403WA a waterproof and robust version. The VT403WA has even smaller dimensions and is designed for highest sound pressure. Speaking of waterproof, the VT403WA is IPX7 approved, which means it can be submerged 1 meter deep in water for 30 minutes and works after that as usual. Sorry, this time I couldn't show IPX7. It's still winter here and the river was about 5 degrees Celsius. By the way, the WM transmitter from our friends at Electrosonics is the perfect solution when it comes to waterproofness and works fine with the VT403WA. For our test we used the A10 transmitter from our Audio Limited friends with a waterproof back. It worked perfect. For the VT403WA's cable we have taken care of the best solution for tear and sweat resistance, flexibility and diameter. Since we manufacture the mics in an injection molding process, the cable is melted with the capsule housing, which further increases the tensile strength. The specifications of the VT403WA are also ideally suited for theater musical applications, as this lav mic is very resistant to sweat and constant makeup removal. And last but not least, the VT403 series is shielded against digital interferences. The Swiss-made VT600 with all its variations has been the industry standard in countless TV, film productions and live productions for many years, or simply in all professional areas where it's important to transmit the highest speech intelligibility. The heart of the earphone is the injection-molded mini loudspeaker, which delivers outstanding sound quality. The VT600 can be worn without attracting attention, allowing discreet, inconspicuous monitoring in different areas. If you prefer a very comfortable monitoring version that does not isolate your hearing from the environment, the optional flexible ear inserts made of silicone are the best choice. They are available in 4 different sizes and for the left or right ear, and allow the short curved sound tube to conduct sound directly into the ear canal. The flexible ear inserts eliminate the need of costly earpiece adjustments that may be required with other solutions and are so comfortable to wear that you often forget to remove them from the ear after use. Of course, the VT600 can be connected to any wireless receiver. With the latest member of the series, the VT600D, the tube with the earpiece can be connected easy and fast to the driver thanks to the click lock. So hygiene is maintained. Users simply connect their personal tube with the earpiece via click lock and are ready to go. More information about the VT600 products can be found at www.vt/switzerland.com.
Welcome back. Now we are joined live with Michel. Hello, Michel. You're joining us from Zurich, Switzerland. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being with us. I loved the first video, especially. It was wonderful.
Yeah, glad you liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like, do we have any questions for Voice Technologies? I don't believe so. So maybe you can just talk a little bit, Michel.
Yeah, I think we're known for waterproof microphones. And in fact, it wasn't even our idea. About 15 years ago, first time I run into a situation where somebody showed me underwater recording with our microphones without being waterproof. And we started to talk about this and thought this might be a good idea. So we played around with some microphones, made some prototypes, and put them in a drawer. And 3 years later, I had a phone call from a sound guy responsible for a sailing race on the open sea and telling me that he has a tough time. And I told him we have something in the drawer he could try. And he tested it and he was really excited, and we produced it, especially for this production. So at the beginning, we only produced them for them. And at the end, came out with a waterproof microphone IPX7, which is 30 minutes in 1 meter water. Yeah.
Wow.
And now lately ended up that some people said it's not even enough if they really have tough things with a lot of water. And the latest thing is the VT500X, which is IPX8, that's 24 hours on 1 meter.
Wow. Well, thank God you started producing these. It seems like a happy accident, but it's really taken off.
Yeah. It's sometimes things happen. Yeah, we just
Yeah.
try to listen. Yeah, and as you might have seen from the video, with some enthusiastic run into a direction.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michel, for joining us live. I think we're going to go ahead and throw up your website or your socials in the chat. So if you guys want to learn any more about voice technologies, you can find it at these social medias. I think we're going to keep it rolling as well. Thank you, Michel.
You're quite welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much. Next
Thank
we
you.
have a video from Ambient.
Thank you. Bye, Kim. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hello, Klaus with Ambient here. Welcome to our presentation for Sound Summit 2021. So thanks for Sound Devices for setting this up once again. Thanks for Kim, our wonderful host, not only for bearing us a second time around, but also interviewing us technical weirdos. And most of all, thank you for joining us today. Of course, it doesn't replace the Las Vegas craze, the well-grown habits, the curry at the Mount Everest, hello Paul, the Rams raffle, and leave alone the late night beer at the Crown and Anchor with you crowd. But here we are, and we're very happy to be part of the third iteration of Sound Summit. So, being the third iteration, what would be more fitting than introduce a third iteration of one of our products with the MSA ATE 308. So for those unfamiliar or wondering, the name originates from MS Stereo, which involves the use of a figure-of-8 microphone, and this is exactly what we're looking at here. A very compact, true condenser figure-of-8. And albeit selling for under half the price of other offerings, it doesn't need to shy a direct comparison. Designed and including all accessories to convert an existing main mic on the fly into a high-quality MS pair, it allows you to add a bit of stage to your dialogue recordings, but also to capture textured room tones or even ambient sounds without the need to change your setup, whatever microphone you favor. And that directly brings us to the changes in version 3, and to explain we need to go a little back in time. Introduced in the late 90s, the first MSA was merely directed towards EB and documented work styles and the new breed called VJs to sit on top of their camera microphones on the VX1000 and PD150. Yet, being one of the very few available options, the application range soon was pushed by reputable sound mixers who were looking to add a stereophonic option to their arsenal. But truth be told, the electric design of the 1A8 just didn't cut it for these spoiled ears. So we followed up with the 208, this time featuring a true condenser capsule and a discrete preamp powered by 48-volt Phantom. And it immediately became the go-to problem solver. And basically, this is where the story could end. But this would leave us with nothing to present today, right? We wouldn't be ambient if we didn't keep our ears pressed hard to the rails. And while doing so, we noticed a faint but still disturbing resonance. Now, this wasn't our aging years ringing, but the improved tonal characteristics of the new and matured shotgun microphones available, which the frequency response of the 208 didn't fit perfectly anymore. So, for the MSA 308, we merged the preamp design of a Soundfish hydrophone with a completely redesigned capsule and achieved a natural, warm sound with the perceived noise floor cut down to half. The last change is, dare I say, just cosmetic, but the MSA 308 now comes clad in sexy midnight blue Nextel. Coincidentally, the same color as our current Lockheed's, it helps to distinguish the product from its former model, but also emphasize it being an ambient product of the latest generation. Last Sound Summit, we teased two things, the Lockheed Plus and the Nano-Lockheed logging function. So today I want to give you a rundown of the current state of things. Now, the Lockheed Plus. Developing our most complex device in times of a global pandemic, introducing unseen and unforeseeable lead times has been, gently put, a challenging hell of a ride. But we're happy to say that we're on final silicon to complete our software development now. I need to repeat that the Lockheed Plus is not just your ordinary timecode generator, but also a metadata recorder, a studio master clock, and so much more, running dedicated machine code and a full-blown Linux on two different separate but still connected hardware platforms. So the TC part is a safe bet. Still, we have new exciting features in development that cater for the applications and workflows that just have emerged in the recent past. I say motion capturing and The Mandalorian. And as such, we're extremely happy not only to have welcomed Ubisoft and Apple to our user base, but also two subsidiaries of Epic Games, the creator behind the Unreal Engine, and DI4D, a major player in motion capturing, as ACN hardware partners. But what care you? You want to know how our frequency coordination, the Radio Wizard, is coming along, and we're happy to let you know that beta testing is in full swing as we speak. So this is the perfect opportunity to say thanks out to all the beta testers that we have. And we are proud in what we have achieved is no less than a complete operating system, and are convinced that you will be blown away by the ease of use and stylishness once you can put your own hands on a Lockheed Plus. Soon. Right around the corner, though, is release of firmware 6.3.0 for our Lockheed firmware range with two exciting features. First would be support of double frame rates in the standard SMPTE timecode format with full backward compatibility. It has been a cause of constant sorrow, at least for those involved into support like me, that timecode maxes out at 30 frames. TC experts know that with SD, two fields were spread across one timecode frame, and the same method applies to the HD double rates. But still it confuses people which frame rate to pick on timecode when the camera is actually set to 59 frames. Now, we catered for that within our own ACN since long, but the SMPTE standard just didn't allow for that, until now. Since 6.3.0, we will include this information in the standard timecode stream. The algorithm isn't breaking anything. If a unit doesn't support the method, it will interpret the timecode as before. But if so, and only then, the magic happens. Second feature would be logging with the Nano Lockheed. Unsurprisingly, our Kickstarter campaign closed successfully, and in return we were able to deliver as promised by end of last year. The required panel for Adobe Premiere Pro is now officially in store and available for free. Basically, this means every Nano Lockheed can not only serve as the reliable timecode generator it was introduced, but also as a hand unit to create marker locks while shooting. So feel invited to give it a spin for yourself, and once the application suggests, just hand one of your Nano Lockheeds over to the director or script supervisor.
Welcome back to Sound Summit 2021. We're here live with Klaus from Ambient. Hello, Klaus.
Hello, Kim, and hello, everybody.
Thanks
so
for
I hope
being
you're doing
here
all
with us.
as fine as we do. Yeah, thanks for having us. So again,
Yeah, we have some questions right away for you. You want to just jump into
all right.
these questions here?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So the first question comes from Oliver G. He's asking about the price for the ATE 308.
The US is 866. I know that because I checked just before the show. But for everybody who wants to check our prices in the US, our distributor Reading Audio on readingaudio.com. If you check for Ambient, they have the list pricing for all our products up there.
Wonderful. Thank you. Maybe we can drop that link below.
Yeah.
Our second question from Igor Marlowe. He's asking, how does the MSR behave in humid air conditions, like rainforest kind of environment or a shower scene?
I need to admit that due to the current situation, we didn't have the chance to go to the rainforest and check it, but we did as close as we could with our facility rooms. And no, it's not as sensitive as some larger diaphragm condenser microphones. So having a very small condenser capsule really helps it. Still, it's a DC biased condenser capsule, so there are limitations to that compared like to HF biased condensers, but it's not so sensitive. So, and given that most of the shotguns today are also DC biased, I think the shotgun, if you go into that situation, you would be very pity of your high quality shotgun rather than the Amisa.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We have one more question here. I think this is from someone named Gria. They're asking, will Ambient make an app to use with the tiny lockets?
Um, Two things. The tiny locket is discontinued and has been replaced with the nano locket, and the locket, which often is named by the user tiny locket because it's so tiny. So basically it's that size, but it is a locket. And while this has a display and an on-screen menu, so you don't need an app. And even the nano locket is designed actually to work in the field without third-party equipment and without having an app also running. And there are many, many thoughts put into this that we had to overcome the need. So we have this automatic frame rate setting, because that's one of the paradigms when it comes to timecode, that you just have one frame rate. And now that, as I talked about in the video, we have even introduced double project frame rates over SMT 12M timecode standard. We even go beyond syncing the timecode frame rate. We also sync the project frame rate. So we support up to 60 frames per second as a project frame, which basically makes an app not needed. And all the larger units have all the means that you really want to have in the field. Still, there is a utility, which is computer-based, called the Locket Toolbox, which helps you to make additional adjustments, and where you also can configure your preferences. So with the Locket Plus, there will be new features introduced also for the Locket, like a timecode generator start preference, real-time clock minus 12 hours. And you usually just set that once, like also with the real-time clock, and then you don't touch it. So that's the whole idea of our system, that you don't need an app. And because of that, we're not very fond to make one, because we have to chase whatever Android or Apple are doing.
Okay, that's a great answer. Thank you, Klaus. I think we're going to let you go enjoy your day here. Thank you again for being with us. It's great to see you. We're going to move right along. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So you have fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right, bye,
and
Klaus.
Goodbye. I'll check the chat, and if there are any questions,
wonderful. Please do.
So,
all right, we're going to roll straight into our next video for sound devices.
Hi, I'm Paul from Sound Devices, and I'd really like to talk to you about how the 8 series has evolved since the last Sound Summit back in October 2020. Now, we've added some really cool features since then, not least support for the brand new game-changing Frame.io camera-to-cloud service. So what is Frame.io? Well, it's not just another upload and share service like Dropbox or Google Drive. This is a cloud-based service which is primarily focused on quasi-real-time production workflow. So what does that mean? Well, takes that you've recorded on your 8 series can securely and automatically basically upload to the cloud even while you're still recording. And what this means is, at the end of a day's shoot, you don't need to deliver rushes because they are already there. Now, because the files have been uploaded during the course of the day, that means automatic daily sync can take place, editing can start, and even transcription. So these are game-changing methods to allow a real-time collaborative process between production and post-production. The two are sort of running in parallel. Now, you don't have to be an IT expert to set this all up. On your Scorpio in 888, you simply connect the Ethernet port to a router, whether it's a hotspot or an LTE hotspot or otherwise, and then you hit the connect button. When you do that, you'll be offered a secure 6-digit code on the screen of the 888 in Scorpio, and then you enter that 6-digit code in an iOS app, and then you're authorized to upload to Frame.io. We offer a number of ways for you to upload, and in multiple format choices as well. So you can upload poly files, you can upload monophonic files, you can even upload AAC files, all with timecode and metadata. You can also choose to upload just your ISOs. just your mix, or both. So you've got lots of different options there. Now, there are different modes for upload. You can set it to automatically mirror your current daily record folder, or you can manually upload. So you have all these different choices for getting your data in almost real time into the cloud. Now, in terms of robustness and reliability, you don't need to worry. Should there be an internet connection loss or power loss in the middle of a file upload, don't worry, because you still have your files on your SSD, SD1 and SD2. And when connection is resumed, the file that was interrupted will automatically re-upload. So that's Frame.io. I really recommend checking that out. Now, about a year ago, we released our 2-channel Noise Assist plugin. And its rapid rise in popularity is a sure sign that it has become an essential tool for live production and fast turnaround production. Now, at the beginning of this year, we also introduced support for the highly acclaimed Cedar noise suppression algorithm. And we have released plugins in 2, 4, and 8 instance versions. We've also actually introduced 4-channel and 8 instance versions for Noise Assist 2. So now you have 2 choices for which noise suppression algorithm you want to use, Cedar SDNX or Noise Assist. And it's nice to have a choice because you can then choose which one better suits the environment you're working in. A bit like when how you can choose between Mix Assist and Dugan for your auto mixer and use which one better suits an environment. The nice thing is that you can try these algorithms before you buy, because we have a built-in demo mode in all 3 models. And it's a 2-channel version, and it allows you to swap very quickly between the 2 algorithms, choose which one you prefer, or maybe like both. So the other improvement we've made to both noise suppression algorithms is the ability to apply the algorithm to any bus. Initially, we only allowed you to apply the algorithm to the mix bus left and right, but now you can apply it on the Scorpio to all buses, left, right, 1 through 10, on the 833, left, right, 1 through 4, and the 888, left, right, and 1 through 8. So apply it to any channel or any bus. Okay, I'd really like to talk now about some other cool features that we've just released actually in version 8 firmware. A few weeks ago, and along with Frame.io, we also added a really cool feature which enables you to copy a channel's settings from one channel to any other channel, which is a real time saver, especially if you're dealing with many channels at a time. So you simply go into your channel screen, there's a little channel copy icon in there, you select that, and you go into a new copy screen, and that allows you to choose which parameters you want to copy, whether it's EQ, compression, delay, phase, your routing, your name, pretty much any parameter in that channel screen. You select which parameters you want, and then you choose which channels you want to copy that to. And you can copy it to multiple channels, all with one click of a button. So it's really fast. Now here's a little tip. If you've got spare upper channels that are unused, which is often the case, especially on the higher track models like the 888 and Scorpio, you might want to store your favorite channel settings with EQ and compression, say on channel 16 or something like that, and just keep it there. And then when you need to apply that to a channel that you do want to use, it's a simple copy process. I'd also like to talk to you about a really nice improvements to the bus operation. So you can now route any bus to your left and right physical outputs. Previously, you could only route the left mix or the right mix to your left and right outputs, but now you can take any of your buses, B1 through B10 on a Scorpio, B1 through B8 on an 888, and B1 through B4, as well as LR, to those outputs. Gives you more flexibility and allows you to route and use those wonderful balanced XLR connectors. With buses as well, we now have introduced bus naming. We already had output naming where you could name the physical outputs, but now you can actually name the actual buses feeding these outputs. So you always know what you're sending where. It's really cool. And the nice thing to know is that the recordable buses, LR, B1 and B2, will also have those names embedded in the metadata. Another nice feature is we've added for the CL16 channel colors, which helps you to easily identify talent on a particular channel. So we've got like up to 25 colors, which you can select for each CL16 channel strip. And you can set these to match what colors are being used in your script. And there's a commonly used application called scriptation, which allows you to highlight lines of text depending on who the actor is. So you can match those colors. It makes it much easier to mind map between the channel you're controlling on the CL16 and the script. So that's another feature. And another nice little touch here, there was a very widely requested meter view for the 833. Users often don't use many more than 3 ISOs, so why display all ISOs as metering? Well, we now have introduced this meter view which shows 3 large ISO meters and the left-right meters. That's also available to the 888 and Scorpio 2. And there's a few other metering views which we've added and consolidated between the models. So finally, I would like to talk about SD Remote and some changes there too. We added support for phones because SD Remote was initially a tablet application only. But now you can run it on your phone, and the phone can be an Android or it can be an iOS phone, an iPhone. We added full mix control on the SD Remote, and that's not just on the tablets, but also on the phone implementation too. So you have pans, you have trim gains, you have fader control, solos, mutes, you have all you need to make a mix from your SD Remote application. We also have a switch to put the SD Remote into file transfer mode, and we've also added a false take button for those times when you accidentally hit record or the start of the take wasn't so good. So that's a quick summary of what we've been doing since the last Sound Summit. Actually, there's a whole lot more, and I really recommend that if you want to get into the detail of all the other features, and there's numerous features, please check out the firmware revision history on our website, and see you at the next Sound Summit. Thank you.
Hi, this is John with the latest wireless product news from Sound Devices and Audio Limited. Since its introduction in 2017, the A10 digital wireless system has become a fixture for drama and reality production, and it is the preferred wireless system for critical boom applications. The A10 system brings significant benefits to the user. First, and most important, is its audio quality. And great audio quality starts at the A10TX transmitter. And at the heart of the A10TX is its analog microphone preamplifier, which offers ultra clean gain, analog limiters, and accepts both 2-wire lavalier microphones and balanced microphone or line level signals. It also offers 48-volt phantom power for condenser microphones. Audio is transmitted as digital data. While transmitting, audio data can be recorded to micro SD cards in the transmitter. Note that A10 systems purchased in the US are limited to recording only from balanced microphone inputs. Another important benefit of the A10 system is its operational simplicity. Menu navigation is designed to be quick and accessible with easily identified icons and clear descriptions. And the available A10TX remote app for iOS and Android offers close proximity remote control of transmitters over Bluetooth. The slot-type A10RX receiver can be used either standalone with fantail XLR and power connectors, or over SuperSlot with the SL6, the A10 rack, and the new SL2. Please note that the SL6 is no longer an active model. The SL2 SuperSlot accessory was introduced last year and works with all 8 series recorders. It accepts both 2 and 4-channel SuperSlot receivers to form a highly portable wireless bag setup. Here, the SL2 is mounted to an 833 with 2 A10RX receivers connected. This setup provides 4 channels of all digital wireless, plus additional inputs local to the 833. The A10 rack continues to be popular on carts and in more permanent setups. The one rack space chassis accepts 4 2-channel super slot receivers and can send those signals onto a Dante audio network. New to the A10RX is the A15 pin accessory. This accessory allows the A10 receiver to connect directly to Sony broadcast and cinema cameras with 15-pin slot connections. The A10 is the only non-Sony wireless system capable of being integrated into Sony cameras. You may have noticed that the Audio Limited website is now integrated into the Sound Devices website. The Sound Devices site is now the one-stop destination for all product information and downloads for the A10 digital wireless system and its related accessories. To receive the latest product news and announcements, please sign up at our website, sounddevices.com. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to Sound Summit. We are now joined with Paul Isaacs from Sound Devices. Hello, Paul.
Hi there. Hello, Kim. How are you?
Very well. It's great to see you.
And you too.
I think we have one question already up for you. Are you ready?
I'm prepared. I'm prepared.
All right. This one is again from Don Hale. He's asking, is the cloud option available on the 833 also?
No, it's not. It requires an Ethernet port to connect to the internet, and the 833 doesn't have the Ethernet RJ45 port, only the 888 and the Scorpio.
Okay. Well, it looks like that's the only question. I think, your videos are so informative. That must be why.
They're so thorough, and I don't stop talking. Yeah, I know. But anyway, if there's no more questions, I would like to thank everyone anyway for all the fantastic feedback that we get on social media, through tech support and everything. It's the only way our products, evolve in the right direction. So we're very thankful for that. So yeah, thanks.
Well, we're thankful for you guys, Paul. Thank you for making such great products.
Thank you.
I think I see Sound Devices has dropped some links below in the comments, and you guys can ask questions at any time in the comment section on this stream. I think we're going to roll right into our next video, and we'll say goodbye to Paul Isaacs.
Take care.
Goodbye, Paul. Hello, Sheps. Let's roll that next video.
Sheps.
Hello from the Sheps Catacomb Studio. I'm Helmut, and I'd like to give you a short overview of our analog Colette amplifiers today. Our Colette system has existed for almost 50 years. New or updated components have been offered regularly, and we'll also do continuous developments in the future. Every microphone capsule needs an amplifier which contains the microphone electronics for the operation. And in this video, I will cover only the analog amplifiers. For our digital Colette amplifier CMD42, please have a look at this video. In the year 2021, these 5 analog Colette amplifiers exist. I have lined them up in this picture. The CMC6 is our best known amplifier, and it has been a standard for many years. The CMC6 XT is the variant of the CMC6 for high resolution recordings. It conveys frequencies above 20K. The CMC1 is our miniaturized amplifier. It's available with XLR output as the CMC1U, with a LEMO miniature output connector as the CMC1L, and with a fixed 5-meter cable as the CMC1K. Let me get to some details. The CMC6 is our best known amplifier. It was first presented in 1992, but it has been updated several times since then, and thus it remains a modern state-of-the-art amplifier today. Its completely symmetrical design results in an excellent performance with low distortion, high common mode rejection, and extremely low noise. It accepts a wide range of phantom powering voltages, including P12 and P48.
For many years, the CMC6 has been equipped with the Schoeps RFI shield, which protects the amplifier from interference. You can recognize this by the golden protection plate in the output connector. The RFI shield is very important for practical use because it reliably protects the microphone from interference, for example from pocket transmitters or from power cords. The CMC6 XT is perfectly suited for recordings in high resolution or for the application of pitching down in sound design. It has a flat frequency response up to 40 kHz. Since all small membrane capsules drop off above 20K, a filter in the CMC6 XT equalizes this frequency range, and thus an MK4 can provide a flat response up to more than 40K. An MK2 or an MK41 can also be used. The dynamic range is still very good between 20 and 40K, resulting in a relatively low noise there. And this is especially important for use in pitching down, because this frequency range is then transported into the audible frequency range. The CMC1 is our newest amplifier. It has been on the market since 2019. Due to its miniaturized electronics, it's extremely small, so that it can be used on a boom or in a concert hall without attracting attention. Although its new electronics are smaller, they have been improved in various ways compared to the performance of the CMC6. For example, its current consumption is only 2 milliamps, which is especially important when operating it with battery-powered pocket transmitters. Its high maximum sound pressure level of 135 dB SPL is also helpful. The CMC1 naturally contains the Schoeps RFI shield, and our tests have shown that the CMC1 is especially immune to high levels of interference. We have successfully tested the CMC1U with the audio limited 810, for example. The CMC1 is, like all amplifiers, can be used with a whole range of Colette accessories, of course. The CMC1 comes in 3 different versions. The XLR output of the CMC1U is certainly the most common output. In the CMC1L, we use a Lemo miniature socket, which we have been using in our CCM series for a long time. For this reason, there are already many accessories for this interference available, for example suspensions, table stands and goosenecks. The CMC1L comes with a 5-meter adapter cable from Lemo to XLR. And last not least, the CMC1K is the smallest version of our amplifiers because it does not contain a connector at all. For some applications, this can be very helpful, for example for plant mix for movie sound. The CMC1K has a permanently attached 5-meter cable with XLR output. Well, this was a brief comparison among our analog Colette amplifiers of today. More information can be found on our website. Don't hesitate to contact us directly with your questions and comments via website or email. We are always happy to get your feedback. Thanks for watching.
Schoeps. Welcome back to the Sound Summit live stream. I'm Kim Kyland, your host, and I'm joined by Helmut from Schoeps. Thanks for being with us.
Hello, Kim, and hello, the people there in the US. I'm very glad to be there.
We are so happy to have you, and I think everybody in the chat, they're eager to ask you questions. We've got 3. Should we just jump right in?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. So the first question is from Rado Stefanov. He's asking, you didn't talk about the digital amplifier CMD42. What role will that play in the future?
Well, that's a very good question. And actually, we did that video because we don't think that a digital microphone will be a total replacement of all analog microphones in the future. That's not our philosophy. I think, and we think here at Schöps, that in addition to this line of analog amplifiers should be something that really makes sense and that has features that you want to have in your particular application. And so the way in which we built the CMD 42 during the last years was that we looked after the things that we can do in digital that are not possible in analog. And now the microphone is here and we are preparing the release. We are in a very exciting beta test phase at the moment. And we get a lot of feedback already, and we are quite happy about what is happening right now, because it turns out to be much even more exciting than what we thought it would be. It is a digital microphone that has these features that are not possible in analog. And I think it will be a big thing once it is released.
Awesome. Thank you. Our next question is about the Colette system. This person asks, they're acknowledging the Colette system is unique with regard to how long it's been on the market, 48 years. Wow. And it's still being sold. They're asking, is it a challenge to keep that legacy and compatibility?
Yes, sometimes it's a challenge. So it's sometimes not easy to keep that, but we really have to see that our predecessors at Schöps, they did a remarkable job in designing that Colette series and that interface. And actually this famous Schöps circuit, which was built ages ago, is still one very unique thing that is built in many microphones on the market. So we can be very glad that we can be compatible with all capsules and amplifiers that were built during the last 48 years. And that's also one nice thing about new amplifiers like the CMC1 or this coming up digital microphone CMD 42, that they actually are compatible without any problem to those old capsules. And still, it's remarkable how well these old technology works. And of course, it's modernized and updated, but the basis was set not later than 1973. Actually, the Colette series is my age. So these look quite modern and contrasting to me.
Yeah, you guys do a great job of blending the old and the new, as we can see in the beautiful 500-year-old building you're joining us from.
Yes. Well, in the cellar, it still looks like this, so we have to show this on the upper levels. It's a modern company at the moment.
I love it. We have one more question. Somebody is asking, what are the main applications of the different amplifiers?
Well, now one or a bit more than 1 year after the introduction of the smaller CMC1, it turns out that more and more customers will change to the smaller amplifiers CMC1U and CMC1L, because they see that it is practical, that the technical values, the properties are the same or even better, and they don't need the larger form factor. But still, of course, the larger form factor has its applications. For example, in the studio, where you just want to hold the microphone in a nice way. That's as easy as that, the demand of the customers. And so at the moment, it's like not only the film niche or the film market goes to the smaller microphones, but also concert video applications, whereas the CMC6 is the studio microphone.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Helmut. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me. Have fun with this very great event and have fun with the next presentations.
Thank you. Up next, we have another ad from K-Tech.
Hello from our office. It's quite nice out here. It's been a riveting year and quite a lot has happened since we were last at the Sound Summit. One of the things is we moved our workshop to a new boat with 300 square meters of space, which is quite necessary, seeing as now we're producing fur by the football field. Other stuff that's happened, we've grown the team to match the demand and make sure that we're still supplying quickly and with the right quality standards. We've seen a large increase in use of our Sidekick 2 IFB in-ear monitor in film and television, to name but a few, helping Bill and Ted face the music. We've seen it being used for TV crews with Formula E, and it's also been used in new format reality shows like America's Got Talent last year, which was quite exciting. Don't take it just from me. Let me pass you over to some of our friends to tell you a little bit about how they've been using the Sidekick in the field.
I just want to say how much I absolutely love the Bumblebee Sidekick 2 IEM.
I bought 5 or 6 sidekicks, and I have to say I've been really impressed with them.
On set with the Sidekick.
Sidekick earpiece, absolutely fantastic.
I always have actually 3 sidekicks in my bag.
Here we are on set, we're been using the sidekicks.
They have a great cable.
It is absolutely tiny.
The beauty of it is it's completely discreet.
Talent loves how small the device is.
Cable is amazing, super thin, we can even see it on camera.
It's low profile.
So the presenters are getting it in their ear and I'm not getting it in the ear off production because you can see a wire.
Hair and makeup love how they can hide it.
The Kevlar cable is very, very robust.
So delicate, so gentle, but feels very, very durable, very stretchy.
We've been using them for presenters' earpieces.
I'm a sound assist on the Formula E race series.
The driver in there is so good, you can hear everything so clearly.
Brilliant quality.
Sound is incredible.
Working with an IEM receiver just gives you so much better quality audio and also better quality range.
Stereo one, a left one and a right one.
We used to have a lot of issues of them before we used the Sidekicks or falling off the ears of our presenters, and since then it's just been great.
You could never tell that someone's wearing it.
I would hazard a guess that you haven't noticed that I'm actually wearing one right now.
I'm wearing one right now.
But it's incredibly low profile and hardly noticeable at all.
Bet you didn't notice.
Great product from Bumblebee.
Sidekick for life.
Wow, thanks guys. Right, now on to the new products. And yes, we've been developing hard. We've got a lot of new products in the wings. I'll give you guys a sneak peek into what's coming very soon. And to start off, I'm going to pass you over to our good friend Chris Durfee.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Durfee, production sound mixer on location here in Bristol, England. I'm excited to share a new product
to the fantastic line of Bumblebee products, the Windkiller SE 4018G. This is a very specific windscreen for the DPA 4018 when used with the super low profile MMP GS modular active cable and the GSM 4000 gooseneck shock mount. Now, the DPA 4018 paired with the MMP GS and the GSM 4000 is one of my favorite plant microphones, especially in car-mounted applications where a visor-mounted plant is a good option. It's easy to install, it has a super low profile, and it sounds simply amazing. There are times, though, when open windows and doors are a possibility, where the 4018 foam windscreen is just not enough for wind protection. I turned to Paul at Bumblebee to come up with a design for this application. The Windkiller SE 4018G performs very well in windy and gusty conditions, and is the perfect solution for getting good clean sound in tougher situations. Thanks, Bumblebee.
Thank you, Chris. Well, Paul has actually got the Windkiller SE for the 4018G to hand and can take you through some of the finer details in its construction.
The DPA 1418G, and it's a super cardioid. And for that one, we have made a Windkiller. This is the SE Windkiller with the 1418G model. And it's the same nice Bumblebee multi-piled fur. And then we have the very transparent material inside here, the green one. Elastic band and a very light-weighted push button. And the other side of the push button is here. It's a little bit hard to see, but here we have it. So we insert the mic like this. Take the rubber band and go underneath the cable and then into the push button. Like this, and then you can take it down. The Windkiller SE for the DPA 4018G.
We've also designed one for the new DPA 4097, so that'll be coming very soon at the same time as the 4018G. And another thing, we're also expanding the Windkiller SE, which stands for Special Edition range, for handheld recorders too. And actually, Paul's just got a new toy, so I'm going to throw you back to him.
Dow! I'm out here with a nice cup of coffee and my new toy. It's the Sony PCM D100, and I definitely need some wind protection on it. Okay, now we got wind protected by the new Windkiller SE, and it's from Bumblebee, and it's the Bumblebee multi-pile fur that is awesome for wind protecting your microphone. And there's a leather strap that actually closing the area down here, and then we have the elastic band here, so you can tighten it just the way that it should be tight at the back of it. That's the Windkiller SE for the Sony PCM D100.
So that's also quite exciting. The Windkiller SE for the handheld recorders is different to the other designs for like the long-haired fur cover we have, because the interior is actually sewn and designed in a rectangular or square shape to fit perfectly over the microphones on your handheld recorder, and there will be different sizes for different handheld recorders on the market. Sticking with the theme of Sony, we've created a bespoke lav concealer for the Sony ECM77. So that's molded exactly to the shape of the ECM77 and holds it in perfect space. So you get a really good sound, and you're able to clip it or stick it with tape to your talent. And we've also created lav concealers, one regular size one and one tiny lav concealer for the Deity mics, lav mics, and that's the WLav Pro and the WLav Micro. So actually, let's take a jump back to indoors and I can show you these in more detail. Oh. So, I've got them over here. Just going to get my jacket off. And let's take a look. And there we are. There's the 3 new lav concealers. This one for the Sony ECM77. And that's got the Fabric Guard Extreme and clothing clip fitted. They're all made of soft organic rubber, and that absorbs the vibrations as the rest of the range does. And all of these come in black and white options, like so. And then we also have, for the Deity range, custom molded lav concealers for their 2 lav mics. The W-Lav Pro, that's this guy over here, and the very small W-Lav Micro, that's this guy over here. You can find out more about these on our website, and make sure you sign up to our mailing list so that we can send you out a notification as soon as they're available. So there you have it, 3 new lav concealers coming very soon. Please don't hesitate to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course check out our website at bubblebeeindustries.com. And you can sign up to our mailing list as well, and there you'll get all of the news of new releases and new products and how to use them delivered straight to your inbox. I'd also like to say thank you to Lectrosonics and Sound Devices for putting on the Sound Summit, and to everyone who took part, who made it possible. It's a real honor for us to be here again, and long may it continue. Thank you, and until next time, have a windy day. From Jay McCallop. Did you get that one?
I think
in
Joe
there.
is putting those in right now. Yep, that's a great question. I've used the Sidekick for quite a few applications now. I can.
And we're live.
Oh, we're live again. Hello, welcome back to Sound Summit. I'm your host, Kim Kyland. I'm joined by Caleb from Bubblebee. Thanks for being with us, Caleb.
Thanks, Kim. Hi, it's good to be here. Good to be here.
Great to see you.
You
So
too.
those videos were great. I would expect no less from your team. I think we have questions right off the bat. Should we just dive into our first question?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds great. Let me see here. Oh, hang on. Our question disappeared. Technical difficulties, everyone. The fun of a live stream is you never know what's going to happen.
I've got it
It's
here on my
going
phone
well.
if you want.
You've got, oh no, I see it now again. Thanks for bringing that back. So this question is from John McCallop. He's asking, so the Sidekick can be used for similar reasons or similar applications as an earwig. Having the analog phonak discontinued has left a vacuum. What do you have to say about that, Caleb?
I would say yes. The Sidekick's actually very, very small. It's smaller than the phonak in the ear. And it just needs to be paired with a decent IFB receiver. So something like the Electro R1B would be a good pair for it. There are many on the market. So yeah, definitely the sound quality, because it's wired, the sound quality it tends to be really good the whole time.
I can attest to that. I'm wearing one right now. I'm wearing the stereo pair. It's so hidden and it sounds amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, ditto. I've got it as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's my standard setup for Zoom. But yeah, I think the other benefit is that when you're using something like the R1B, your range increases as well, and the general quality of the transmission audio tends to be just an all-round better experience. And the other thing is the Sidekick's incredibly comfortable. I've literally forgotten it at a trade show and walked through airport security, and I got stopped, and I didn't know why. And it's because I had the little 3.5mm jack thing dangling down my back with the Sidekicks in my ears. They were like,
man.
quite
They're
worried.
perceptive. They don't miss a thing. Yeah,
Oh,
I've also used the stereo pair that I own. I've used it for a couple live music applications as my in-ear function, and it really is so great. And I like it better than the other in-ears that I was using for years because it leaves a little bit of room open. So you can kind of hear the outside world as well. It's not as isolating, which I personally really, really like, but you can position it to make it a little more isolated.
Yeah, well, it actually comes with different ear tips.
That's
I'll
true
take this
too.
out and show you. Yeah, so this is the satellite ear tip. It's so tiny you can't see it.
It's so small, I know.
But there's two other ones. There's one cowbell and one Christmas tree ear tip, and they attenuate more of the external surrounding area in steps as you go. So a cowbell will attenuate probably about 5 to 6 dB. Christmas tree takes off about 9 from the surrounding area. So.
That's great to know. Thank you. I've yet to try those ear tips. I'm going to very soon.
Cool.
We have another question here from Jeff Cools. He's asking, will you make the lav concealers in beige?
Good question. It's a very good question. I do have an answer. It's not going to make him happy though. The design of the lav concealer is done in black and white because those are the easiest colors to do with organic rubber. There's a couple of reasons we use organic rubber. One is a very good absorber for shock, for vibrations. And once you start doing things like beige, you have to add chemicals. And when you add chemicals, it becomes non-biodegradable. That's the first thing. And the second thing is it's just harder to get right. And, if you do a beige one, everyone's going to ask for a green one and a blue one. And so we're sticking with black and white for now.
A suggestion that I want to throw in there is I haven't tried it with the lav concealers you guys make, but with some other stuff, like for example the vampire clips that I think it's LMC Sound make. If I want them a little beiger, I will brew a really strong cup of coffee and just doop.
Man.
Give it a try. See what happens. Let us know.
It's going to be my morning routine tomorrow.
Yay! Or let me know what happens. Let's share it on social media.
Yeah, we'll do.
Well, thank you so much, Caleb, for joining us and for sharing those wonderful videos with us. I think we're going to say goodbye to you and we're going to move on to Sonosax. Thanks, Caleb.
For having us. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Sound Summit 2021 Spring Edition. At Sonosax, we are very happy to see analog is not dead. And we are actually doing the assembly of 2 S6 VT analog console for classical music recording. We even make a new power supply for the VT range without any fan to keep quiet during the recording session. We will show also some new products, and thank you very much to the Sound Summit organization to make this event really true. I'm very happy today to introduce you our new device, dual slot receivers module. It's the named S6 RX8 Plus. This device includes 8 rotary control, the slate microphone, exactly like we have on the RC8 Plus or on the LC8. The RX8 Plus has a slot for a big battery, 90 watts, and 2 Rose output to power the R4 Plus or some other accessories. This device can include all these different receivers, and to minimize the weight and the size, we use a bit different system than the super slot. It's not including antenna splitter, and also this device do not include the control of the receivers. So we have a different plate. This is for the electrosonic, and we have one plate here for the Visicom, and here one combined plate for the audio limited Sennheiser and Visicom. For the audio limited, we can use like this, with the screen looking this side, or also we can include this adapter and with this, and we have the screen looking the other side. We include also on this device a USB port, so we can use the RX8 like the LC8 with the sound device. Other ways, use it with the R4 Plus, like this. It's giving a very compact packaging with until 8 receivers channels, the 4 mic line inputs and 2 line inputs. All the system is less than 3 kilos. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to our live stream for Sound Summit. I'm joined now by Jacques. Hello,
Yes.
Jacques from Sonosax.
Hello, Kim. Hello, everybody. Hello, all participants. And I will say first, thank you very much. Thank you very much for John and all the people at the sound devices for great organization. And I cannot believe, but it's already 1 year we do this. For the first time, yes.
Time flies.
Time flies. And the place of sharing beers in Amsterdam, okay, we do this. I don't know if you have some questions from...
No questions. I think
No
your videos were
questions.
just so
It's so
informative.
clear, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you guys do have questions later, once we let Jacques go, just drop them below in the live chat and we can hopefully answer them there.
Maybe just one thing, like I say on the video, I'm very happy the analog is not dead. And we don't have to forget microphones, the capsule still analog, speakers still analog, and we still have a lot of things staying in analog. And if we don't have transmitting or storage, finally, the digital don't have any advantages. This is my view. A bit old-fashioned, but it's my view.
Analog is not dead. I love it.
No.
Thank you so much, Jacques.
Thank you. See you later.
Well, merci. We'll let you go and we will move on to Shure.
Okay. We have added a new feature on our famous SX-M2D2. This is valid from the serial number 300, and it is the possibility to work with electret microphones. So, to do this, you have to go to the service menu and you choose your configuration in 48 volt or in 5 volt microphone power. And with this 5 volt electret mic power, you can power the Audio Technica or the voice technology, the sunken COS 11 or the DPA microphones. You just connect after the correct setting with an adapter, like this, or direct with the TA3, and you connect your microphone, and you are ready to have a very simple and compact system to record on your smartphone.
And we're back with Jason from Shure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kim. It's great to be back. I can't believe it's been a year. I heard a few people mention that as well, but it definitely didn't fly by. But I'm happy to be back here with all my location sound friends.
Yeah, this is honestly so much fun. It's the next best thing to gathering, so hopefully the gatherings will come next.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
And it looks like our chat is a little bit quiet here. Anyone have any questions for Shure, or are we gonna talk about the portable Accent wireless, perhaps?
I'm not entirely sure what they're talking about. Yeah, but you know,
well, we'll come back to that.
Obviously, Shure is always working on new and exciting things. Rado, you're cracking me up in the chat. I love it. But nothing new to show today. So we have Twinplex and the 83 plug-on transmitter that you saw in the video. That's probably our newest product here, Phantom Power plug-on. That's attractive to y'all.
Yeah.
Some boom mics and our Twinplex is what we showcased there in the video. So
well, as you can see, I'm a big fan.
I've seen a few of our mics on the stream. I was going to mention that as well. So don't forget all the fantastic wired stuff we have. That is a great little mic. Yeah. And the little USB version I have here, which is plug and play, no interface needed. The MV7.
Amazing.
Right?
I've yet to try that one, but I really look forward to trying that one.
Yeah. I'll send you something to test.
Oh, thank you. I'll be honored too.
Absolutely.
Well, Jason, we're going to let you go enjoy your day. Thank you so much for being with us. And to those of you watching, 300 people this whole time watching. We're so happy about that. Up next, we have Sony.
Hi, my name is Andy Munitz, and I'm the Pro Audio Product Manager here at Sony Electronics. Today, we'll talk a bit about our DWX digital wireless third generation product lineup. And more specifically, what we're really happy to announce is that our slot and receiver, the DWR S03D, is now super slot compatible. As a quick review though, it's good to know that our DWX True Digital Wireless line was introduced way back in about 2009, and news crews from around the world have been relying on it for years in large numbers. Features of the new third generation versions now include spectrum coverage from 470 MHz up to 618 here in the US, and all in one unit. The DWR S03D receiver has two independent channels, both supporting true double tuner diversity. That means that there are actually 4 tuner sections inside of this small package. And they can also be set to communicate and change just about all settings of the two paired transmitters. Again, from the receiver, including frequency, power output, mic attenuation, low-cut filter, and even the ability to put those transmitters to sleep to save battery power over a Zigbee network from up to about 30 feet away. This feature alone has proven to be quite valuable, especially in view of the restrictive pandemic times that we're all going through. The DWX system also supports a choice of 4 different codecs, with one offering a very short latency of just 1.2 milliseconds. Another codec adds an additional layer of error correction, offering even further range. In terms of transmitters, the DWX series has 2 body pack options, one with AA's and the other running off of a small and low-cost rechargeable Sony CyberShot camera battery. The system also offers a plug-on transmitter with phantom power and is also remote controllable from the receiver's position. With the recent firmware update to the DWR S03D slot receiver, in addition to the new super slot capability, we've also added direct frequency entry mode down to 25 kHz resolution, and continue to support a quick shortcut function for scanning the entire FCC legal range and picking out the 2 quietest channels found, and assigning them to the 2 Zigbee paired transmitters, all in one easy function. As well, this series supports a new high-density mode that offers up to 16 channels per 6 MHz or 21 channels per 8 MHz spectrum range, with no loss in sound quality, frequency response, or functionality. Within a 4 UHF channel band group, up to 64 compatible channels can also be supported. Range on our DWX series is excellent, and build quality, well, it's a Sony, with service and support to match. Now, just a bit more on the new Super Slot functionality. Through great work with sound devices, we're proud to announce that our DWR S0 3D receiver will now work beautifully with the Sound Devices 8 series of mixer recorders and either the SL2 or SL6 adapters. Through the menus and control of the 8 series mixers, you can start a scan and assign your best frequencies to the receiver's channels. It's then a simple matter to send those assigned frequencies out to the paired transmitters. Of course, you can then monitor the metadata from each of the receiver's channels on the mixer's display. So, to finish up on DWX, if you're in the market to migrate from your analog wireless to a true digital wireless solution, have a look at our DWX series. I think you'll be surprised by its premium sound, advanced features, value, and great build quality. In addition to our DWX series, we also offer our UWPD series of wireless mics with digital signal processing. This allows for great sound and at a very affordable price range. Packed into our new 4th generation receiver, the URX P40, are 2 tuner sections offering true double tuner diversity tuning protection in a very small package. These units cover 3 spectrum ranges. Here in the US, we offer our 14 block, which goes from 470 up to 542 megahertz, our 25 block, which covers from 536 up through 608, and also our 90 block, which covers the 941 to 960 range. We also offer a small 2-channel portable UWP receiver, the URX P03D. Our UWPD transmitters have the same wide spectrum coverage, accurate count-up battery timers, OLED displays, auto gain modes, and even offer selectable filter protection from occupancy sensors. And the plug-on transmitter also has built-in phantom power. Of particular interest is the way in which the receivers and transmitters communicate their frequency information to one another. Through NFC or near-field communications pairing, a dedicated top panel button on the receiver will start the scan. And when the quietest channel is found, simply hold the transmitter up to the receiver face to face, and the channel information will get transmitted through an NFC link. Couldn't be easier. The UWPD receiver also makes a great camera hop receiver or a personal wireless monitor due to its onboard headphone jack and simple monitor mode controls, and can have multiple units all set their frequencies to match one transmitter via the simple NFC pairing step as well. By the way, when used with many of our latest Sony cameras, starting with the Alpha range, all the way up to our FX9 camera, without the need for external cables, the receiver can send its digital audio signal via its unique multi-interface or MI-SHU design directly into the camera's video file without having to go through extra D to A and A to D steps along the way. As well, the receiver can also be powered directly from the camera's battery source instead of having to use its own AA batteries. Finally, don't forget that we offer many mics, including both mono and stereo shotguns, high-resolution studio mics, and also offer our latest ECM90 Lav, which through a unique dual diaphragm design greatly reduces traditional cable rubbing noises that are so common in location sound work. Of course, that's just a very brief overview of some of our offerings here at Sony Pro Audio. There are currently several other videos online that go into much greater operational detail on many of these products, and I hope you'll get a chance to search for them and watch them if you're interested. And by all means, simply go to pro.sony for more information on any of these products, or contact us at pro.info@sony.com to set up a demo. And thanks for watching.
Welcome back to Sound Summit 2021. Thank you, Andy, for joining us. Andy from Sony.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Andy?
Nice to see you again. Hi, everybody.
It's great to see you. Yeah. We have a question right away. People are excited. Can I just go ahead and read the first question, Andy?
Please do.
Wonderful. From Jonathan Mitchell, he's asking, will Sony be producing any areas to work with the new digital system for bag work?
I think if I understand the question properly, I mean, can you use this? We've had a lot of people use our portable receivers in bags for a long time. As you may know, our previous generation of slot receivers were Sony slot size, which was a little bit wider than Unislot, and it obviously fit perfectly and connected digitally inside of our shoulder cams. We also made buckets with that size and so on and so forth. So people have used that in bag applications. Even had somebody build up a portable rig with 18 channels of our digital wireless. Was pretty cool.
Wow.
But there's third-party accessories out there for connecting on the bottom, even with our 15-pin connector. However, since we have gone ahead now and introduced our new DWR S03D, which is unislot size and has the accessory option for connecting via 15-pin, that opens, 25-pin, that opens us up to a whole world of different accessories on the market for bag use, for, even the A10 rack, putting 4, dual true double tuner diversity receivers, 8 channels in a single rack space. That's a pretty cool application I'm, excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Andy. We have another question right away from Igor Marlowe. He's asking, is there a firmware product page download available for the UWP series? He's saying that it's a little hard to find.
We don't actually post those all online, but we do have a group within Sony. I refer to them as POSSE, Product Operations Support Center. And you can send an email to prosupport@sony.com and explain what you'd like to do, and they will get back to you within a day or so, and they can send you firmware updates, even help walk you through, updating your equipment. And that's, commonly for a lot of our gear, including both the UWPD and our DWX wireless.
Great. Thank you, Andy. We have another question from Tobias Gerlach, and he's asking, is it possible to hop 4 channels to the Sony FX? Due to its lack of AES, EBU inputs, it'd be nice to utilize all 4 channels.
Well, the FX, you're talking about maybe the FX9 camera. I'm just see what it was. But the FX9, has 2 XLR connectors and MI shoe capability. Mm-hmm. So with free mapping of those 4 channels, you could use our portable 2-channel UWPD receiver with MI shoe connectivity, receiving 2 of your hop channels in, and then another receiver connected via cold shoe and audio cables via XLRs into the other 2 channels. So yes, you can do 4 channels hop that way.
Yeah, great setup. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
All right. I think those are all the questions we have for you. We're going to go let you enjoy your afternoon, Andy.
Thank you. Thanks very much, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Andy.
Bye.
All right. We're going to go right ahead and roll another K-Tech ad.
For more than 30 years, WYSICOM has focused on innovation and the highest quality. WYSICOM's team of engineers designed the most sophisticated RF solutions for microphones, IFB, IEM, RF distribution systems, and more, using the latest and most advanced technology available. Hey, I'm Jeff, Product Specialist with WYSICOM. I'm excited to share with you the WYSICOM MCR54 and the Symphony products surrounding it. Last year, we released the MCR54, the first quad true diversity portable slot receiver. The MCR54 offers an incredible range in the United States of 470 MHz to 960 MHz. While this is not our first multiband receiver, it is the first to be a true diversity receiver and have 4 channels built in. and the integration with Sound Devices' SL2 and 8 Series mixer has solidified the MCR54 as an incredible asset to any production sound mixer. Today, we're expanding the family of accessories for the MCR54. This is the BCA54, a battery sled adapter for autonomous operation. This can be used in conjunction with the 4-pin Hiroshi connector for redundant power, or on its own with a lithium-ion battery to provide up to 11 hours of use. And you can still use all of your audio outputs with a dual TA5 connector to fit any application. The BCA54 is expected to ship beginning in May. Another member of the MCR54 product family is the MRK16, a sound card's dream. Options to connect your mixer through analog, AES3, or Dante. With this solution, get up to 16 channels of true diversity in just one RU. The MRK16 can also be paired with any of our smart antennas from the BFA to the ADFA to the LFA and have full remote control of your production from the comfort of your cart. This is just the start of the strengths of this unit. Using the built-in XLR4 connector, add a second DC power supply, and the MRK16 can also be powered over Ethernet to the Dante port or the control port, giving you up to 4 points of redundant power input. Expand your audio outputs to AES59 or AES72 protocols. For RF input, using our multi-zone antenna matrix system, double the coverage of your receivers, either locally or through the fiber optic expansion card. The MRK16 also offers GPIO and a USB-C port to expand system control to WYSICOM Manager and other systems like never before. No matter the application, the WYSICOM Symphony products will fit the bill. Another new member of the Symphony product family is our RPU 500. Featuring a multi-band capability of 170 MHz to 960 MHz, built-in recording, and up to 1 watt power output with configurable push-to-talk command buttons. The RPU 500 is a reporter kit with many possibilities for field production. Using the WYSICOM lithium battery pack, get 5 hours of autonomy, and for situations where you need more, connect to a power source with the 4-pin Hiroshi connector. The RPU 500 will also feature a true diversity receiver for audio return, along with many different audio input and output configurations to fit any production need. As our world is constantly evolving, so is WYSICOM. So as ultrasonic noise has become more common in where we work and live, our transmitters needed to evolve as well. Typically prevalent through ultrasonic motion sensors installed to detect subtle motion for automatic lights, attached to cameras for distance finding and focus pulling assistance, and other situations, ultrasonic noise can cause issues for some productions. To answer this need for our community, we developed a hardware solution. I've invited our engineers from the factory to tell you a little bit more about it.
Ciao to everyone, I'm Dennis, a RF engineer at WYSICOM headquarters in Italy. I'd like to tell you more about a new hardware revision of our portable transmitters. We introduced new audio filter to help protect our units from a massive ultrasound interference generated by different devices. Just to make an example, the new generation of camera range trackers can release an ultrasonic audio of about 130 dB SPL, the same as jackhammer, so to speak. This could affect massively our daily job while on set. And just in order to avoid this kind of problem, we introduced a dedicated low-pass filter that can reject up to 70 dB to allow the user to work without any kind of issue in most polluted ultrasonic environment.
All new WYSICOM transmitters will be shipping with these new modifications. We did not stop there though. For all our current WYSICOM users, you'll be able to send in your linear series transmitters to us for this upgrade. To get started with this, go to WYSICOMUSA.com/TXupgrade and follow the steps on that page. For more information about anything we've talked about here, please ask questions in the comment box below or check out WYSICOMUSA.com.
Hello and welcome back to our live stream, Sound Summit. We are here with Jeff from WYSICOM. Hello, Jeff. Good to see you.
Hello, Kim. Good to see you. I hope you're well, and hope this last year has been treating you well also.
Very well. I've managed to stay very busy, so thank God for that. I hope the same for you.
Yeah, it's, things are very good. A lot of products, a lot of things, and it's picking up. So we're really excited about this year and the next year ahead.
Wonderful. Well, I think people are just as excited as you are. We have lots of questions. Can I just jump right in?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So we have Rado Stefanov again. He's asking, any plans to have a repair center in the USA so people don't have to wait on a repair?
Yeah, actually, for America, North America as a whole, we operate a service center out of Alexandria, Virginia. Normally, that's where I work. Today, I'm at my home. A little bit better internet here for this. But yeah, in Alexandria, Virginia, it's right outside of Washington, D.C. We have a full service center that we can do most all the repairs for all the WYSICOM equipment there.
That is great to know. Save on those shipping costs. Great. So we also have George Trevis asking, when the Bluetooth on the MCR 54, this is a weirdly worded question. Hold on. When is the Bluetooth?
Yeah, I think I kind of know what you're asking.
Perfect.
So the MCR 54 is equipped with Bluetooth. And so this is leading into another question I saw someone ask about an app. So leading into some things we're working on is an app for iOS, Android, the whole set of them, where you will be able to have full control of your MCR. And with that, it will add some features to do things like run a scan and automatically deploy your 4 frequencies to your MCR. And as you scale up your production, it will manage all of your MCRs for you.
That's amazing. And I have the MCR 54 here, the new one. I am so excited to test this. So thank you for making great products. I will be trying this out soon.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. Yeah, it's a really exciting product. I mean, we're proud of everything we've made. This one is really we're really happy with this one.
Yeah, I do mostly all bag work. Well, no, completely all bag work at this point in my career, and I am always looking to lighten my load. So I'm excited to have 4 channels, like just in such a small package.
Yeah, and that's a conversation I have with a lot of sound mixers who have been doing this a lot of years, and what younger sound mixers don't think about is your back. And just holding yourself, if you're holding a 20, 30-pound bag for 15 years, you're going to lead yourself to some pain later in life.
Absolutely. No, I think about that all the time. And, people like Simon Hayes, Ken Strain, friends of mine are always talking about physical and, physical fitness is a part of the job. You got to keep your body in top form. And that's also, taking into account weight is a part of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have another question from the Unmarketing group. They're asking, is anyone in North America selling the RPU 500?
So the RPU 500 is our new, it's more technically called a reporter kit is how we're marketing and branding it. And, we believe it's got a lot of great applications for field production and audio mixing, recording. It's still in the final stages of development. Currently they're in the process of getting the what we call the type acceptance, like the FCC certifications for the frequencies. And so we're hoping that'll be released a little bit later this year. And it'll be available through many of our retailers throughout the country.
Amazing. Well, we look forward to that too. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, everyone. Thanks for having me.
It was great to have you. We're just going to go right ahead and move on to our next guest here, which is Viviana Straps or Soundfish. You may also know this person by his name, Daniele. Are you there? Are you joining us? Let's see. We're going to get...
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We weren't sure you were going to make it. You popped in at the last second because you're so busy working on set. That's great to hear.
Yes, I'm very sorry, but I was working and I'm on set, still on set. So
well, great. We'll let you go soon. Then we'll keep it brief. Do you have anything you want to say about the new Viviana Cloud?
Yeah, we just step into the market with this new product that is the Viviana Cloud, and we are just receiving a lot of good feedbacks from customers, and we literally sold out our first 100 Viviana Cloud box.
Wow.
So we are so excited about this. And I really would like to thank also Sound Devices for their collaboration and support in testing the Viviana Cloud box with their sound mixer and recorders. And all our beta tester like Lorenzo Millan, production sound mixer of House of Cards, Felipe Borrero, production sound mixer of Ozark, Tone Mesa, and many, many more guys from Europe. And what to say? We are really excited. We wasn't expecting feedback like this one.
Wonderful. Well, congrats on how well it's doing. That's great to hear. And it's so good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy to see you too, Kim. Thank you. Then
We're
what to
gonna
say
let
more?
you. Yes, go
I
ahead.
don't have any video because we just presented the new video a few weeks ago. So if you want, I don't know if I cannot do it. I cannot.
That's okay. We'll look forward to a video coming soon from you guys then, yeah? Yeah? All right. I think we accidentally got you muted. Hold on, I can't hear you anymore. Small technical. There you are.
Yeah, the Viviana box is very, very small and bag friendly. And one of the most important thing is that you can use it with all sound mixer and recorder, sound devices recorders, but you can use it also with Zoom F4, F8, and any external card reader or USB device.
Wow, that's a really useful tool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us despite how busy you are. We're going to let you get back to work. We're going to let you get back to set.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, ciao. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Up next, we have one more K-Tech ad. Welcome back to Sound Summit. We're joined now with Doc from Halter Technical. Hey, Doc.
Hey, Kim. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, wonderful to see you.
Yeah, things have been good. Things have been busy since the last Sound Summit. We still feel like we're the new kid on the block around here, but things have been great. Been busy in the community. We had recently had a financial seminar that we put on for the community. We did an unscripted sound seminar, so we're continuing to do these furthering education things for people in the community, in addition to putting out great products that we hope people enjoy. So it's been great.
You guys do great work. I recommend it for anyone out there who hasn't checked out Doc's stuff, like all the events he mentioned. There's just some really cool stuff you guys are doing.
Much appreciated. Yeah, these kind of things are important for us, not just to learn the gear, which, you know, I could geek out and talk about gear all day, but there's all the other parts of the business too that we like to help out and help people along with their careers. So
yeah, of course.
Things have been good.
The financial literacy part is a huge, huge thing. So I'm really glad you guys are touching on that. It's really, really useful information.
Thanks. And we'll continue to do more of those throughout the year.
Cool. Well, I think we have a video from you. Should we just roll it? I'm excited to see it.
Well, I want to tell people this is the first time anybody's going to see a new product here. We're very excited about this new launch. So yeah, let's roll the video and we'll talk about it.
Welcome back. Hello, Doc. What more can you tell us about what we just
watched?
watched?
That's it. That is the all new Halter Technical Scene Monitor. The original Scene Monitor headphone has been on hundreds of productions, from everything from giant Super Bowl commercials to Marvel movies to broadcast network TV shows and everything in between. And the new scene monitor is redesigned from the ground up. It retains all the things that people liked about the original, the thin profile, the ear cups that swivel flat, the single-sided cable, and builds upon them. So now it is a much more durable build, reinforced in all of the right places. So preventing breakage from all the rigors that set can produce. The cable is now dual shielded and reinforced at the connectors. The drivers themselves have been upgraded and now offer a full fidelity frequency response. And even the pads themselves have been upgraded to a smooth, buttery leatherette feel. So things have been very busy here, very good. I'm excited to get the scene monitor into the hands of people so people can get hands-on and ears-on with the new product.
Yeah, absolutely. I was seeing your scene monitors everywhere. I think I saw on behind the scenes on a Taylor Swift music video. Someone in the chat mentioned a Michael Bay movie. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. We just popped up in Entertainment Weekly not too long ago on the new Space Jam movie too. So literally everywhere. And the new scene monitor is going to be exponentially more popular with all of the refinements that it's received.
That's awesome. Maybe you should do a calendar like K-Tech does, just all the places that your headphones have appeared in the wild.
There's not enough months in a year.
Well, thank you so much, Doc. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this new product?
It is going to be shipping in approximately 2 weeks. Our retailers are taking orders now. So get your orders in so that they have yours in stock when they get their first shipment. And you can always check out haltertechnical.com for the scene monitor and all of our other products too.
Great. Thank you so much, Doc. It was good to see you.
Thanks. Likewise. Appreciate it.
All right. We're going to roll right into our next guest, which is Orca Bags.
Hi, this is Marcus with Orca Bags here to show you all the latest and greatest from Orca. We want to thank again Sound Devices for having us on the Sound Summit 2021. Really excited to be here and really excited to show you all the newest. First in our newest bag line, we have our OR330 Audio Mixer Bag. The OR330 Audio Mixer Bag fits the Sound Devices 833, 888, and 633. It includes a bright blue inside lining made of brushed polyester for easy equipment packing, a unique battery pocket with extra space for more batteries, a detachable front pocket for up to 6 wireless receivers, 2 detachable external pouches, and 3 internal rubber bands to hold a wireless receiver in place. It also includes 2 detachable carrying handles and a padded shoulder strap, 2 extra padded sponges to position wireless receivers inside the bag, Orca lifts that can be used to adjust the mixer's height within the bag, and a transparent TPU top cover for easy equipment viewing. The OR330 Audio Mixer Bag is the perfect addition to any sound mixer's kit. Next in our line of newly released bags, we have the OR128 Universal Accessory Case. The OR128 features an internal mesh pocket design, five removable internal dividers, a padded shoulder strap and carrying handle for easy transport, an external side pocket for keys, pens, and other small items, external webbing straps for easy connection to a trolley bag, and a business card holder. Both the 330 and the 128 are available for pre-orders, and they start shipping in May. Once again, we'd like to thank Sound Devices for inviting us to the 2021 Sound Summit. Keep a lookout for all the new products coming out from Orca this year.
Welcome back to the Sound Summit 2021. We're joined now by Marcus from Orca Bags. Hey, Marcus.
Hey, Kim. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's beautiful weather today. We're in a good mood. It's been a fun Sound Summit to watch.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having
Closing
us,
us
guys.
out here. This is our last chat. I'm sad. I don't want this to end.
I know. I mean, we can just keep going. We'll chat all day. It's no
Right?
problem,
Yeah.
right?
Perfect.
Everyone chat will hang out. It'll be a good time.
Well, hopefully we can gather again soon in person. I am really crossing my fingers for that, and we'll all be together again. Although Zoom has been a lovely vehicle for this. Thank you everyone tuned in for staying with us all the way till the end. We have questions for you, Marcus. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
All right. So someone, Jeff Cools is asking, would you please describe how to properly fit the Orca 444 or 3S harness to get the weight off of my shoulders? He's saying his arrives tomorrow from True Audio. Shout out to True Audio.
Hey, the guys over at True are great. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, so I mean, as soon as you get to your OR 444, you're going to notice that it's got a very unique spine. It's a pneumatic spring-loaded spine is designed to elongate and lock at a specific height to alleviate the weight off your shoulders, so you're not actually feeling anything tugging on the shoulder straps at all. So the way that you put it on is you kind of get yourself loaded up with all your bag strapped in, everything buckled on tightly into the harness, and there's actually a little handle grip with a locking button on the side of the harness, and that is going to be the release and locking mechanism for your spine. So the way you get that situated is that you pop on the vest and the harness with your bag and all your gear, and then what you do is you're essentially going to click in the button to release the spine. You're going to want to bend over to kind of elongate the spine as much as possible. You're going to lock it back in place, and you're going to hear a nice clicking on the button. And once you stand back up, you're going to hear the spine lock in place, and that means that you have engaged the pneumatic springs, and that's going to hold the height so that everything's lifted off your shoulders, and you're only going to be feeling it on your hips. So it's very easy. You just have your harness on, you bend over, just click the button in, and then you click it back off as you stand up, and it'll lock in place. And once you hear the click, that's when you know you're set, and you're good to go from there.
Wow, that sounds really simple.
Yeah, it's really quick. It's really quick to set it up. You know, it's easy to go from 0 to 100, no problem.
Very cool. Well, I plan on stopping by your place. For those of you who don't know, Marcus and I are in the same city. We're in Santa Clarita, California, and I plan to come by this week. So maybe we can do a little demonstration, and I'll post it to my YouTube. What do you think?
That'd be killer. Yeah,
That'd
we
be
have
awesome.
one here. We'll show you how to do it, and it'll be super easy. We'll post it on all the socials. So
perfect.
You know, it'll be a nice little reels or something. Who knows?
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
And then we have another question from the Unmarketing group, and they're asking which of these 3 series best fits the 888.
The 3 series, you mean you're speaking about the 330, the 334, and I mean the 330, 332, and 334, correct? So
Let's
for the
just
888,
assume, yeah.
yeah. So I mean the newest bag series is the 300 series. So we have the 332, which is perfect for the 888. But we also have our newest bag coming out, which is the 330, which is specifically designed for the 888 as well. It's going to be the smaller of the 300 bags, but it's going to be a lot more fitted for the 888. So 334 is going to be kind of on the larger side. That's going to be more designed for the Scorpio. And then you go back, and then when you go down to the 332, you're going to be that's going to be designed to hold the Scorpio, the 888, the 688. And then one step past that is the 330, and that's going to be more fitted for the 888, 833, and 633. So
Great.
That's kind of how you kind of gauge what bag you want to use. If you do kind of find that you need more space, then the 332 is great. If you kind of want more of a snug fit with, you know, room for 6 of the wireless transmitters and whatnot, you can still go for the 330 and you'll be set.
Very cool. And if people want to find more information on this later, how can they get in touch with Orca? Social media, website? What do you think?
We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We have our website. You can also find us at 16by9inc.com. We have, all of our contact there. You can always reach out to me via phone, email, and we're here to help out. A lot of our dealers too are super knowledgeable. They know a lot of what they're talking about as well. You can ask them anything and they'll definitely be ready to help you.
Wonderful. Well, it's always a pleasure talking to you, Marcus. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And it's been a great Sound Summit. And I hope to see you guys at see you at the office soon.
Sounds good. And as somebody mentioned in the chat here, they're looking forward to seeing a lot of us at NAB. If NAB happens in person, I'll be there, and I hope to see all of you guys. Thank you to all of the manufacturers for joining us today, for showing new products, just sharing your warm personalities with us. This is so much fun. And we're going to bring everyone back, I think. This is our wrap up, guys. This is like, we're at the end. We made it.
Hey.
Look at all these beautiful faces. Yes. All right.
Hey.
I see all of you coming back.
Hello all. Hey.
Amazing.
Camera muted.
Well,
So-
thank you everybody so much for staying with us. We've had so many people tuned in this entire time. I don't even know how much time has elapsed. This is so much fun. I completely lose track of time, but thank you to all of the participants, all of the viewers. Thanks to Sound Devices for having me as the host again. I have so much fun doing this. And
Yeah, Kim.
yeah, one more really big shout out and thank you to my partner Todd Schramke, who set up my camera and lighting. He's an amazing cinematographer, and I would not look this good without him. So thank you, Todd. I love you.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Kim.
And on
Great job.
behalf of everybody in the panel here and Sound Devices, Kim, thank you for being such a great host and keeping the conversation along and keeping it compelling for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So now out for
some curry.
Yeah, let's go get some.
Yes.
Exactly.
Gotta go cook dinner next.
All right. Well, next time we do this, my piano's back there. Next time I'll play us out. Okay, I'll have that set up.
Ooh,
Yes.
definitely.
Lovely.
That's
Yes,
what's
please
missing.
do.
Yeah. Thank you again for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, John.
Everyone be
Thanks, Kim.
safe.